Podcast.
So we got this book, Virginia's Colonial Soldiers by Lloyd DeWitt Buckstruck. This is the cover right here. And so it says here, American military history begins with the establishment of the Virginia colonial militia in the 17th century. This ill-trained militia was the colony's only defense against Indian attacks and invasions by hostile powers. The records they left behind, fragmentary and widely scattered, are prized by genealogists because they can be used to establish a place of origin or to prove that a particular person existed in a given locality at a specific time. The difficulty has always been to locate the records and to make them accessible, right? So that's always been, I guess, the hardship, right? These records were not available to us, honestly. They made it hard. So with the publication of Virginia's Colonial Soldiers, this book right here, that problem is now behind us, guys. From research based on county court minutes and orders, bounty land applications and warrants, records of courts martial, county militia rosters, Hennon statutes at large, the Draper manuscript, and manuscripts in the Public Records Office in London, we now have an authoritative register of Virginia's colonial soldiers, a record so comprehensive, guys, so comprehensive that it may cause the genealogical history of Virginia to be rewritten. All right, we're rewriting history, and we've been doing that. We've been doing that since day one. All right, so list all these records right here. So down here in the last paragraph, it says muster roll of troops of light horse commanded by Captain Robert Stewart, 11 May 1756 at Maidstone, right? Enlisting officers, Captain Robert Stewart, Sergeant William Hughes, and Colonel George Gordon. Roll gave name, the entry date, the age, the size, the trade, the complexion, and the county, all right? What do we have? So again, the complexion, right? Complexion. William Hughes, Sergeant 4, 1754, 26, 57. He's dark. He's dark. He's where? He's from England. He's dark. He's from England. William Broto, Corp, 12 March, 1754, 23, 58. Taylor. He's ruddy. From Virginia. John Wistenburn, Corporal. He's 5'8", 27. He's brown. From England. He's brown complexion. George Speak. I've said he's a gentleman. He's brown. He's from Virginia. Robert Tusnell. He's a blacksmith. He's ruddy. He's from Yorkshire. That's England. James Buchanan. All right. Shoemaker. He's dark. And he's from Scotland. Dark complexion. All right. Dark complexion. Scotland. Robert Cornelius. 5'8". Planter. Dark. Virginia. All right. Robert Cornelius is dark. So is this a so-called Negro in Virginia? Is he from Virginia? Wait. I thought everybody during this time was a slave that was dark-skinned. But he's a planter. Doesn't say nothing about him being a slave. George Clancy, planter, ruddy, Maryland. Thomas Rose, he's a copper worker. He's dark complexion, and he's from Maryland. We got John Eleanor. He's brown. He's from Germany. All right, brown, Germany. John Craig, he's a weaver. Brown, he's from Ireland. All right, John Hoff, blacksmith. He's Swarthy from Maryland. We already know what Swarthy means, right, guys? That means so-called black, dark skin of a dark complexion. Swarthy, Swart. John Burns, he's a collier. He's ruddy. He's from Ireland. All right, and then we got, so you guys can see, I can keep going. James Govan, brown. He's from England. Daniel Kelly, he's dark complexion. He's from Pennsylvania. George Wilson, dark, Pennsylvania. William Lynn, dark, Ireland. Patrick Murphy, dark from Pennsylvania. Samuel Hill, dark from Ireland. George Saucer, dark from Holland. He's from Holland, right? Dutch, Black Dutch. You guys ever heard of the term Black Dutch? David Glendine, soldier. He's brown. He's from Scotland. John Smurfer, Miller, brown, Germany. George Schreiber, shoemaker. He's dark. He's from Germany. He's from Germany. John Larbuck, 28, Jan, 1756. Taylor, brown. He's brown, and he's from Germany. Finley McKay, brown, Scotland. Samuel Baxter, he's brown complexion, England. John Kelton, brown from Ireland. John Brown, he's brown from England. Thomas Shepard, he's brown from England. And William Marshall, he's brown from England. All right, muster roll of Captain David Bell's company at Maidstone, 12 May 1756. Enlisting officers, Lieutenant Campbell, Captain Bell, and Dean Rowe, including name, date, entertained, age, size, trade, complexion, and country. So we start with David Collins. He's a sailor. He's fair-skinned. He's from Ireland, all right? He's fair-skinned. Timothy Sullivan, he's a wagoner. He's brown. He's from Ireland. William Smith, he's brown-skinned, England. Robert Bassett, brown complexion, England. Edward Austin, he's fair. He's from England. James Thompson, he's brown. He's from England. Peter Mullen, he's brown, Ireland. For all you guys that like crayon colors, this is probably fun for you guys because we're talking about brown, black, bright, fair. You know, we're talking about crayon complexions here. But I want you to guys see what's listed here and what's been hidden. William Colbert, planner. He's brown skinned from Scotland. John Penmore, he's fair skinned from England. James Thomas, he's brown skinned from Virginia. Edward Childs, he's a farmer. He's fair skinned from England. John Hooper, he's a weaver. He's brown skinned from England. Samuel Cummins, bricklayer, fair skinned, Virginia. Daniel Stanley, shoemaker, dark skinned from Ireland. Dark skinned from Ireland. Philip Cofield, he's a farmer. He's fair skinned. He's Dutch. He's fair skinned. Henry Francis Sherwood, he's a plaster. He's brown complexion. He's from England. Richard Key, he's brown complexion. He's from England. James Hooper, he's also brown complexion from England. All right. List of men out of the borough of Norfolk enlisted 18 May 1756. All right. And what does this give? They were the officers enlisted in Major Joshua Smith. List gave name, age, nativity, complexion, occupation, and height. William Dickerson, Virginia, he's fair-skinned. Henry Austin, Virginia, he's brown-skinned. John Austin, he's fair-skinned. James Hill, New England, brown complexion. James Scott, he's Scottish, brown complexion. John McCoy, he's Irish, brown complexion. Lawrence Rigby, New York, he's fair complexion. All right, so we got an English guy here. He's brown. Joyner. List of men out of Norfolk County listed 17 May 1756. All right, we got Andrew Johnson. He's 28. He's Irish. He's brown complexion. Joseph Joynes. He's fair complexion. Peter Banner. He's English. He's fair complexion. Joseph Sayer, alias Garrett. He's from North Carolina. He's fair complexion. John Carroll, Irish. The Carrolls. Irish, brown complexion. Waterman. John MacDonald, he's Irish. He's brown complexion. The MacDonalds, brown complexion. Godfrey Hunt, he's fair complexion. Willis Parsons, he's brown complexion. John Williams, he's a Welsh. He's fair complexion. Okay, we got list of men of Westmoreland County enlisted 25 May 1756. Enlisted by Major Martin. List gave the name, the age, the nativity, the complexion, the occupation, and the height. So we got Thomas Tungate, Virginia, he's brown complexion. Joseph Edson, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion. Nicholas Kissenberry, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion. Humphrey Kissenberry, he's also from Virginia, brown complexion. John Wilkerson, Virginia, brown complexion. Richard Harmon, Virginia, brown complexion. George Wilkerson, Virginia, brown complexion. Richard House, from England, fair complexion. Hopkins Burley, from Virginia, dark complexion. Buddy Rowe, he's from Virginia. He's dark complexion as well. Edward Grainer, 24. He's English. He's fair complexion. John Worrell, he's from Virginia. Dark complexion. John Selby, he's English. Dark complexion. English. John May, Irish. Dark. He's a planter. All right. Down here it says, roll of Captain David Bell's company. The roll gave the enlistment date, place, age, size, trade, country, and description. So it begins with Thomas. It's Thomas Ferguson. He's from Williamsburg. He's a soldier. He's Scottish. And he's brown with dark brown hair. He's brown with dark brown hair and pitted with smallpox. Smallpox. Who got smallpox? We got John Peter. He's a weird. He's English. He's dark with black hair. All right. Robert Bassett. He's English. He's dark with swarthy black hair. Francis Ryan. He's a butcher. He's Irish. He's dark and swarthy with black hair. He's dark and swarthy. I mean, how else are you gonna? What are you gonna conclude with this, guys? Tell me. Be straight up with me. All right, because Francis Ryan, he's Irish, and he's dark and swarthy, with black hair. So where's the red hair? Where's the blue eyes? Where's the fair skin? The red hair? Where's all that? All right, he's Irish. Also, you thought all Irish looked like that, huh? Charles Scott. Carpenter, Virginia. He's dark and swarthy with black hair and slim made. David Hartwell, Carpenter, Virginia, dark and swarthy. Dark and swarthy. Jacob Morris. He's from Virginia, dark and swarthy. Edward Land. Now remember, these are all people of dark complexion, so-called Negro people, right? So-called black people, right? Now, are any of these people that are from the States being labeled slaves? Right? They're planters, carpenters, shoemakers, whatever, they're not slaves. So these are free people of color, right? These will be considered free people of color. Jacob Morris. He's from Virginia, dark and swarthy. He's slim. Edward Land, Virginia, dark with dark brown hair. Aaron Sweeney. He's from Virginia, dark with dark brown hair. Joseph Howard. He's a soldier, English, dark and swarthy. Flat nose. A flat nose, dark and swarthy. William Holland. He's from Virginia. He's dark and swarthy. John DeNoce. Gardener, Irish. He's fair with light colored hair. All right. Very descriptive, right? John DeNoce is actually fair. Daniel McFain. He's a planner. He's Scottish. He's fair too with light colored hair. All right. We got so-called white people here, maybe. All right. Whitnell Warner. Schoolmaster, Irish. He's fair with light colored hair. Robert Jeets. He's English. He's fair with light colored hair. All right. And so on. So, it's not just dark complexion here. All right. Robert Jeets. He's English, fair with light hair. William Smith. He's English, fair. Edward Childs. English, fair. James Thomas. He's from Virginia. He's darkish. He's darkish with dark brown hair. Philip Caulfield. He's a Dutch. He's fair-skinned. Bernard Ward. He's a Dutch, but he's dark and swarthy with black hair. So they're not talking about the hair, guys, because he is. Again, let's do this. We got a black Dutch here, right? So-called black Dutch. You guys watched my Sephardic videos? Did you guys watch my Sephardic pirate Huguenot? The Dutch. Who were the Dutch? Who were really the Dutch? Where were the Sephardics going when they got kicked out? Where was their New Jerusalem? You guys, let's not forget this. Holland, Dutch. Amsterdam was the New Jerusalem. There was so many Moorish Sephardic people of color there, and Holland. All right, we got example right here. Bernard Ward. All right, he's Dutch, dark and swarthy with black hair. John Dowdy, planner, Virginia, dark and swarthy with black hair. George Eagleburg, planner, Virginia, fair with light hair. Okay. Edward Harper, English, fair with light hair. James Thompson, English, fair with dark colored hair. Peter Mullen, he's a sailor. He's Irish. He's fair with ruddy colored hair. Inclined to red. Here we go. And Irish with red hair almost. Here we go. John Collins, English, but he's dark with dark brown hair. William Smith, he's a sailor. He's English, dark with dark brown hair. John Williams, English, swarthy with dark brown hair. He's English, but he's swarthy. So swarthy. Can I get a so swarthy? Where's Kiowa at? You sleeping, Kiowa? All right. James Clark. Well, John Williams, English, swarthy with dark hair. James Clark, English, swarthy with dark brown hair. Swarthy as well. English, these are Europeans being called swarthy people. Come on. Moses Johnson, planner, Virginia, black as a mulatto with black hair. Black as a mulatto. Samuel Cummins, Bricklayer, he's from Virginia. He's swarthy and much freckled. He's swarthy with freckles. He's dark skinned with freckles. He's a so-called black man with freckles. All right. Thomas Toole, English, fair and light hair. Charles Travis, a planner. He's Scottish. He's swarthy, a Scottish, swarthy, brown hair, pitted with blemish and right eye. Very descriptive. All right. John Waters. He's English. He's dark. All right. Benjamin Rogers. He's from Nansemond. He's from Virginia. He's dark. Richard Hines, Virginia. Dark and swarthy with very black hair. Dark and swarthy and very black hair. James Young. He's a merchant. All right. Who was the merchant, guys? Who was the merchants? You guys know already, right? You've been watching my videos. Who's the merchants? Who was doing all the trade? Who had the commerce? Who was in the ships? Who had the whole network? Scottish, fair, ruddy, and much pitted with smallpox. Philip Childress, Cumberland, Carpenter, Virginia, dark and swarthy, dark-haired, slim-made. David Collins, sailor, he's Irish, fair with dark brown hair and much freckles. Charles Bruce, planner, Scottish, brown with dark brown hair, has a swelling in the knees. John Penmore, he's an English, he's jello countenance with light hair, jello man. Edward Austin, tailor, English, fair with dark hair. John Hooper, he's Irish, he's swarthy with dark hair, swarthy. Joshua Williams, he's from Virginia, he's swarthy with dark hair and much freckled. James Turner, he's from Virginia, dark with dark hair and well made. David Bailey, Chesterfield, shoemaker, Virginia, fair with light hair and handsome made. John Cotter, October 1755. Remember, we're basically in the 1700s mostly. He's about 5'7". He's a planner. He's Irish and he's dark with black hair. Has a wiggle in his walk. He has a little wiggle in his walk. All right, he walks like with a wiggle. He's dark complexion, Irish that walks with a wiggle. All right. Edward Canifax, planner, Virginia. He's dark and swarthy with black hair and a flat nose. Flat nose. It's not pointy. It's not hooked. It's a flat nose. And he's dark and swarthy. James Turner, planner, Maryland, fair with brown hair. Okay, so we got the role of Captain Thomas Cook's company. This is from 1756. What this role shows is the date of enlistment, the place, the age, the size, the trade, the country, and the description of the person. Henry William, all right, he's from Frederick, Ireland. He's light brown hair and yellow complexion. John Reynolds, so very descriptive, right? John Reynolds, he's a merchant. He's yellow complexion. He's from Virginia. John McWilliams, he's a merchant. He's from Virginia. He's also fair complexion. He's fond of liquor. James Thomas, fair complexion. George Clark Corp, light hair, well made, pitted with smallpox, very talkative. All right, so in this example, we got some light-skinned people, right? John Grant, he's a drummer. He's from Ireland. He's dark-haired, very much pitted with smallpox, right? So who was getting smallpox? Wasn't the Indians getting smallpox too? All right. Francis Allen, farmer, England, dark-colored hair, yellow complexion. John Beard, he's from England, red-haired and freckled. All right. So again, we do, as I want to show you guys, we do have descriptions of people that may, we can consider being actual white people, what we call white, right? James Donaldson, he's from Scotland, dark brown hair. Again, smallpox. Thomas Edwards, black hair, yellow complexion. Daniel Gowen, planner from Virginia, light colored hair, long thin visage. Thomas Hudson, he's from England. Dick said he's ruddy complexion. John Hamilton, he's from Ireland, dark brown hair, very ruddy complexion, very ruddy complexion. Charles Johnston, planner, Virginia, dark bush hair. Okay, dark bush hair, very fond of spirituous liquor. Henry Moxham, seaman, he's from England, light colored hair, yellow complexion. James Marsh, seaman, England, dark brown hair, dark complexion. Okay, England, dark complexion. England, dark complexion. Martin May 6, January 1755. He's from Amelia. He lived in Amelia, but he's an Irish. He's dark colored hair, a droll fellow, and knock-kneed large teeth before. Paul Cuhan. He's a Irish, dark colored hair, fair complexion. Matthew Robon, planter from Virginia, dark complexion, simple countenance. William Soldrin, he's from England, dark hair, thin visage, very wrinkled, slender made. And then we got Alexander Stewart. All right, what do you guys know about the Stuarts of Scotland? Who? What is? So isn't King James a Stuart? Aren't the stewards of the Highlands of Scotland, aren't they known and historically proven to be people of color? Alexander Stewart, Scotland, light brown hair, dark complexion, dark complexion. And it keeps going. Dennis Sullivan, he's from Ireland, sandy hair. Thomas Simpson, frowny countenance, light haired. Maurice Supple, Irish, dark hair, dark complexion. Irish, dark complexion, dark complexion. Peter Truly, Ireland, very ruddy complexion. Henry Farrand, he's from England, red complexion. John Wade, he's from England, dark complexion. England, dark complexion. Dick said, villainous countenance. He has a villainous countenance. He's dark complexion with a villainous countenance, they said. William White, planter, Scotland, gray-haired and thin visage. John Williams, Wales, dark-haired, pitted with the smallpox. Robert Walters, he's a planter from Scotland. He has red hair, very much freckled. William Austin, schoolmaster, England. He's very dark. He's dark complexion from England. John Bassett, Scotland, black hair, ruddy complexion, pitted with smallpox. Samuel Butcher, planter from Virginia, fair complexion, freckled, round-shouldered. James Boswell, weaver from Ireland, light hair, fair complexion. John Carwick from Ireland, dark complexion. John Carwick, Ireland, dark complexion. John Lee, a planter from Virginia, dark-haired, very wrinkled forehead, black eyes. Thomas Hall, shoemaker from England, dark brown hair, very well made. Richard Cornelius, he's from Ireland. He's dark hair and complexion. He's dark complexion. Richard Cornelius, Ireland. We got some more right here. John Connor from the Terminator, Pennsylvania. He's a hunter. He's dark. John Connor's dark. William Summers, he's from New England. He's dark complexion. Cornelius Henley, he's from Pennsylvania. He's Irish, and he's dark complexion. Richard Rice, Pennsylvania, dark complexion. Colo Logan, Ireland, dark complexion, dark. Patrick Hughes, Ireland, dark complexion. Thomas Dyer, he's from England. He's fair. All right. They know what a fair complexion person and a dark complexion looks like. They named it. They described it. They wrote it down. David Davison, England, he's fair complexion. Alexander Turnbull, he's a soldier. He's from Ireland and he's fair. Timothy Toll, he's from Maryland. He's fair. Thomas White, he's England. He's dark. His name is White, but he's dark and he's from England. He's dark complexion. He's well set. Richard Posey, he's a farmer from Maryland. He's fair. Henry Francis, he's from Virginia, actually Maryland. He's dark complexion. George Jackson, he's from England. Fair. John Moore, Ireland. Fair. Oh, Moore. Fair. Moore. So everybody that's Moore, it's not that dark, right? Again, we don't always got to take fair as white. That could just be a very light skinned, dark skinned person, right? Again, a lot of this all is conjecture, right? But we already know based on the information that we got. We already know the true history. So this is just more correlation. This is just more proof of what we've been researching. Richard Davis, Maryland Fair, Stroud Lusting, fresh colored. Matthew Fowler, Maryland Fair, thin spirit. Mordecai Grosnell, he's well set, raw boned. Henry Reese, he's a soldier. He's from Germany. He's fair. Thomas Hammond, he's from Maryland. He's stout and lusty. Jeremiah Hurley, he's a weaver. He's Irish and he's dark complexion, tender eye. Patrick Constantine, he's from Maryland. He's fair. Edward Truly Constantine, he's from Maryland. He's fair as well. Francis Brothers, The Francis brothers, I guess that's the guy's name. He's from Maryland. He's well said, fair. William Ashby. He's from England. He's dark complexion, stout and well set. James Barnett. He's fair complexion, hardy, well set. William Stockstill. He's from Maryland. He's dark complexion. Cornelius Chapman. All right. He's from Maryland. He's dark complexion and well set. Abraham Whitaker. He's fair complexion. All right. We got Isaac Whitaker. He was a hunter from Maryland. He's fair complexion. John Jacob Peter Grammer. He's from Germany. And he's dark complexioned. All right. Dark complexion. John Christoph Tooth, Maryland. German. He's dark skinned too. Henry Jefferson. He's from Maryland. He's fair skinned. Sadat Gowen. He's from Maryland. He's very dark. Stout, well said. He's very dark. Sadat Gowen. John Davison. Baltimore. Dark. Thomas Brown. He's from Maryland. He's dark complexion. Thomas Pritchard. He's from Pennsylvania. He's fair. Robert Craighead. He's from Maryland. He's dark complexion. Gus Vaughn. He's from Maryland. He's fair. James Lynch. He's Irish. He's dark complexion. James Lynch. Future Video. All right. Future Video. You guys thought the Lynches were actually white people? You know, you thought that was all white people doing. Oh. Well, what I've come to learn is that a lot of these Lynches were people of color in these times. And they had farms, and they were free people of color, you know. Again, James Lynch, Irish, dark. John Little, he's from Maryland. He's fair. Robert Criswell, he's from Maryland. He's dark complexion. John Hall, Maryland, fair complexion. Samuel Sanders, Maryland, fair complexion. Thomas Hudson, he's from England. He's fair complexion. Peter Williams, he's fair complexion. John Carpenter, from Maryland, he's fair. Aquila Wilson, Maryland, he's dark complexion. Samuel Wilson, he's from Maryland, dark complexion. William Talbot, Maryland, dark complexion. John Cliff, he's from England, dark complexion. John Barrett, he's from Ireland, he's dark complexion. Miner, he was a miner. Most likely that meant he was an indentured servant working in a mine. They send him over here. Most of the people who went to mines, these were one of the worst jobs or places to go work or do your indentured servitude. A lot of the times that was not by choice. A lot of the times people being sent was, you know, the people who were considered the worst off, or convicts, criminals, people they just didn't care about. They just kind of like almost definitely treated and was being used almost like a slave. These mines, you know, a lot of hard work. Again, he's Irish. He's dark complexion. John Hudson from England, dark complexion. Asiel Stewart, he's from Maryland, dark complexion. Thomas Seal, Maryland, he's tawny complexion and raw-boned. Francis Moreland, he's from Virginia. He's fair. He has a likely scar on his forehead. Thomas Wright, he's from England. He's fair. Francis Walker, he's from England. He's fair. John Fraser, he's from Scotland, and he's pale skin. All right. Scotland, pale skin, all right? They're letting you know straight up, describing it in detail so you have no doubt. James Rawls, fair and freckled with yellow hair. William McPherson, he's a planter, Scotland, brown complexion, thick and well made. Henry Champion from Virginia, brown complexion, with much disfigured with smallpox. John Cockerill, Virginia, Indian mixture, well made. Indian mixture. John Clements, Virginia, ruddy complexion and sly look, loves to drink. Benjamin Cotton, New England, he's ruddy, well-made and merry disposition. And a merry disposition, he's always happy. James Dacres, he's from England, brown complexion, a fun and cringing behavior. Joseph Buffin, he's from Virginia, one, black-haired and well-made. Know what that meant. Fair. Joseph Price, Virginia, fair complexion. John Dutton, he's from England. He's brown complexion, stoops as he walks. We got William Waters. He's brown complexion. He stoops. James Haynes, Virginia, ruddy, pitted with the pox. James Hill, New England, he's pale-skinned. William Warden from Virginia. William Warden is brown complexion and a clownish look. Now that's messed up. Now why are you trying to clown this guy? Just because he has a clownish look? Come on. William Warden, I'm sure you didn't have a clownish look. Brown complexion. Joseph Bedgood. Virginia Pale. John Key. Virginia, long visage and queer-faced. Hey, I didn't say it. And then we got William Williams, a planter, Virginia. He's a Negro, really? Now, what does this mean? Bernard Coe, soldier, Irishman, fair complexion. Jesse Jones, Isle of Wight, Draft, Smith, Virginia, Irishman, fair complexion and likely. Thomas Cook, he's from England. He's dark complexion, a merry disposition. William Parks, fair. James Davis, he's from Ireland. He's fair. Alex Wiley, he's from England. He's fair, pitted with smallpox. We got John Kelly, he's Irish, dark complexion. John Kelly from Ireland, dark complexion. Then we got Robert Pullen, England, dark, thick and clumsy. John Roser, he's from Virginia. He's pale and gray-headed. Michael Delock, he's a planter from Virginia, yellow, thin-faced and homely. Don Ferguson, he's from Scotland. He's a drummer and he's brown complexion. James Buckridge, he's from Virginia, fair and ill-made. William Fear, laborer, Virginia, brown and well-made. Peter Bevan, laborer, Virginia, slender, knock-kneed. William Thompson, he's from Virginia, black eyes. William O'Connor, tailor, Irish, ruddy and well-made. William Deere, Irish, brown complexion and heavy look. Samuel Walden, a planter from Virginia, fair and slim. Okay, this is the roll of Captain Charles Lewis Company from 1756, roll signed by Peter Steenbergen, lieutenant. What we see here is the name, the date, and the place of enlistment, age, height, occupation, country, and description. All right, so that's what they're going to show us here. Charles Calliox. He's actually French. He's ruddy with dark brown hair. A French guy. Abraham Crittenden, he's from Virginia. He's ruddy. James Carson, he's from England. He's brown complexion. Samson Franklin, he's from Virginia. Brown complexion. John Hartwood, he's English. Brown and dark brown hair. Thomas Edmondson, he's from Virginia. Fair. Ezekiel Richardson, he's English. He's also fair. William Horan, he's Irish. He's fair complexion as well. John Anderson, Scotch. He's actually swarthy though, with black hair. A Scotch who's swarthy with black hair. John Anderson. Reuben Harris, Virginia, fair with brown hair. William Terrace, Virginia, ruddy with sandy hair. John Flowers, he's English. He's brown complexion with brown hair. William Mickle, he's English, fair with light hair. Thomas Gardner, he's English, brown complexion with dark brown hair. All right, in English with dark brown hair and dark skin. Or brown skin. William Burford, carpenter from Virginia. He's brown complexion, brown hair. John Meggs, Virginia, brown complexion, brown hair. And it keeps going. George Perkins, Virginia, ruddy. William Roundtree, Virginia, fair. William Barnett, Virginia, brown with brown hair. Shiplet Howard, shoemaker. He's from Virginia. He's brown complexion. John Austin, he's from Virginia. He's fair with dark hair. Joseph Jones, he's from Virginia. He's also fair. Alexander Basford, he's a planter from Virginia. He's fair. Richard Harmon, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion, brown hair. Nicholas Quisenberry, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion and brown hair. Joseph Edser, he's from Virginia. Brown complexion with light hair. Francis Thomas, from Virginia. Brown complexion, dark hair, well-limbed. John Hendren, he's from Virginia. He's dark complexion and he has dark hair. Thomas Little, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion with brown hair. George Palmore, he's from Virginia. He's fair-skinned with dark hair. John Harris, he's from Virginia. He's swarthy with light brown hair. Jacob Crouch, he's swarthy. He's from Virginia and he's swarthy with gray hair. John Loftman, from Virginia. He's fair with fair hair. Edward Loffin. All right, he's from Virginia, fair. Edward Loffin. I'm sorry, Virginia. So James Radcliffe, English. He's pale with brown hair. Charles Smith, Carpenter, Virginia, fair with fair hair. So you know how they label in pale. Now they're making a distinguish between James Radcliffe and Charles Smith. Charles Smith is fair. James Radcliffe is pale. He's even more lighter, right? Even more. So even with the light skin, or even if it is so-called white people, they have their different shades too, right? Or again, we don't know if they're when they say fair, they could also be talking about a dark-skinned person that's just fair, right? Light skin. It also could be a darker, maybe is not pale, person. But again, the only way to know is to do your genealogy. You'll know if that's your ancestor or not, and then you can correlate other things to see. All right, because fair sometimes could be things, but they're again describing people as fair, brown, dark, swarthy. They're making distinctions here. It's not just a bunch of so-called white people here. All right, Thomas Eaton, bricklayer. He's English and he's Swarthy, an English Swarthy Eaton. Francis Kingston. He's a Virginia. He's fair skinned. Nathaniel Stevenson was a barber, Scottish. He's fair. Okay. Okay, we got Andrew Vaughan. He's from Virginia. He's well made. He's swarthy complexion. Sorry about that. So we got John Gander down here. He's from Holland. He's strongly made. He's fair complexion. Henry Carrier. He's from England. We got Joseph Wills from England. Doesn't really say much. Thomas Alberry. Thin face, effeminate voice. Oh man, I didn't say that. William Jenkins. He's from Ireland. Swarthy complexion. All right. William Jenkins again. 5'11". He's from Ireland. He's swarthy complexion, large beard. Christopher Best. Nancy Mont. Virginia. Dark complexion. Slender maid. All right. He's a planter. I thought everybody who was dark complexion during this time was a slave. Aaron Paul. He's from England. Fair complexion with dark beard. Burton Hickman. He's a planter from Virginia. Fair complexion. Obadiah Fogg. He's from Virginia. Fair complexion. James Smith. Fair complexion. Anthony Stilts. He's from Holland. John Johnston. From England. Dark complexion. John Johnston. England. Dark complexion. Dark complexion. Edward Freeman. He's from Virginia and he's fair complexion, but he's a free man. All right. Now you interpret that. Now how are you going to interpret that? You tell me, right? You tell me how you're going to interpret that. I want to know how you're going to interpret this 6'1" Virginia guy who's a free man. He's fair complexion. So how do we interpret this? He's a free man. Freeman? I thought only slaves got freed, man, or were freemen, right? Henry Emerson, England, dark complexion. Anthony Kennedy, Ireland, fair complexion. Patrick MacDonald, he's from Ireland, he's fair. Thomas Carrier, England, fair complexion. Ephraim Pope, Virginia, fair complexion. David Rawls, from England, fair complexion. Edward Ballin, Virginia, brown complexion. William Brock, he's Irish, fair complexion. Humphrey Christenberry, he's from Virginia, dark complexion. Nathaniel Fasci, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. Down here it says roll of Captain Robert Mackenzie's company in 1756. Roll gave name, place of enlistment, age, height, country, and description. We start with James Robinson. All right, he's Scottish. He's ruddy complexion and pitted with the smallpox. James Hatfield, he's English. He's brown complexion with his most inclined to the left. Oh, his mouth. Okay. John Campbell, Scottish, brown complexion, speaks broad, black curled hair. Okay. All right, now you tell me how you're going to interpret that. You got a brown complexion Scottish man with black curled hair. John Adams, he's Scottish, fair with black hair. Timothy Shaw, he's Irish. He's brown complexion, speaks broad, dark hair. A brown complexion Irish man with dark hair. Brian Page, a fair complexion with pleasant countenance. Peter Storham, he's brown complexion, dark, straight haired. Speaks Dutch and broken English. Dutch and broken English. He's brown complexion. Again, what? He speaks Dutch. Who's this guy? Peter Storm. Dutch. Who's brown complexion? Thomas Quinn. He's Irish. Pale pitted with the smallpox. Lost his finger. Lost middle and third fingers of his right hand. Edward Blackburn. Virginia. Brown complexion. Dark hair. John Jenkins. From Pennsylvania. He's brown complexion with a scar on the left side of his nose. James Clark. He's pale skin. From Virginia. John Fulham. He's from Virginia. He's dark. Dark complexion. He's from the Isle of Wight. William Willis. He's from Virginia. He's also from the Isle of Wight. He's dark complexion with scars in his forehead. John Brown, drafted from the Isle of Wight again. Virginia, dark again. Isle of Wight, 3 dark people, right? Dark complexion from the Isle of Wight. Isle of Wight was a mostly people of color town or colony. James Malone, Surrey, shoemaker, Irish, dark. He's dark complexion, Irish, with a bendy knee. He's very talkative. He likes to talk. Peter Affleck, Isle of Wight. He's actually pale, Scottish, light hair, speaks broad. John Donaldson, Virginia, pale, slender, very awkward. George Proctor, Isle of Wight, Virginia, dark complexion and well made. George Wainwright, from the Isle of Wight again, Virginia, dark complexion, light hair and well made. George Wainwright, Isle of Wight, Virginia, dark, light hair. James Whitfield, from Virginia, Isle of Wight, he's brown complexion. William Davis, from Virginia, pale skin, pitted, light hair. Lawrence Dillon, King George. He was in the King George probably Army. Gardner, Irish, brown with black hair. Brown complexion with brown hair. Irish man. We got Lawrence Dillon, Irish, brown complexion. James Riley, he's English, he's ruddy pitted. George Shields, he's English, ruddy, brown hair. Lewis Green, the Windy, he's from Virginia, brown complexion, 1 short leg. Thomas Gillingham, he's English, he's dark complexion. Warts on his left eye, black straight hair. John St. Clair, he's Scottish, he's dark complexion, pitted, slender, knees bending in. Patrick Glenn, he's Irish, he's dark complexion, lively eyes, well made. John Thornton, he's Irish, also dark complexion and well made. John Mulford, he's Irish, another darky Irish, straight black hair, stoop and deaf, says Thomas Bracey, drafted Isle of Wight, Virginia, dark complexion, round shoulders. John Whitfield, from Virginia, brown complexion. Jacob Bell, from Virginia, brown complexion. James Rowe, from Virginia, brown complexion. John Carroll, from Virginia, brown complexion, brown hair. Joseph Ailes, Prince Williams, he's English, he's ruddy, well made, free open countenance. David Morgan, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion, thin visage, slender shape. We got Thomas Brown, he's a bricklayer from Virginia, he's fair skinned. John Connor, we got John Connor again, Terminator here, Irish, brown complexion, black straight hair, well made. Then we got the roll of Captain Williams Peachy's Company. This is from July 1756. The roll gives the date, the place, the place of enlistment, the age, the height, occupation, the country, and the description. So we got Reuben Vass. He's from Virginia. He's ruddy complexion. William Baker. He's from Virginia. Doesn't say much. Biddy Brooks. He's a planter from Virginia. Full face, light hair. Josh Gaskin. He's from Virginia. He's swarthy complexion with black hair. Richard Gale, England, one eye out. He's brown hair. James Guthridge. He's from England. He's dark complexion. All right. England, dark complexion. Thin face. Thomas Moss. He's from England, light haired. Jacob Brand, from Virginia, very light colored hair. Patrick Finley. He's from Ireland. He's brown haired and dark complexion. Patrick Finley has brown hair and dark complexion. He's Irish though. Thomas Smith, Virginia, light hair. Patrick Finley, he's from Ireland. He's brown haired and dark complexion. We already got that. We got Thomas Smith from Virginia, light haired. Edward Thompson, He's from England. Fair complexion, John Robinson. Brown hair with Roman nose. William Marshall. He's from England. Black hair, John Jones. Virginia, black hair, dark complexion. Aquilo Byrne. Virginia, light colored hair, scar on his left cheek. Timothy Conaway. He's from Maryland. A planter from England. William Newell. He's from Virginia. Small man with brown hair. Christopher Redman. Redman. He's from Maryland. And he's a red man. Actually, he's from England. Light hair, red man. Henry Jefferson. Planter, Virginia. Long face. John Sparks. Planter from England. Light hair with humpback. Oh, man. Jeremiah Coleman. Brown haired and thin face. We got the role of Captain Robert Spotswood Company. Role gave the name, the place of enlistment, the age, the height, the occupation, the country, and the description. So we got Joseph Bloodo, a planter from Virginia, fair complexion. Richard Good, Virginia, brown complexion, well made, round shouldered. Samuel Robinson, he's from Virginia, he's well made and dark haired. John Sale, he's from Virginia, well made with thick dark hair. Thick dark hair. Edward Lair, he's Irish, fair complexion. James Lyle, he's from Scotland, brown complexion, well made, freckled with dark hair. Thomas Alley, he's from England, well made with black hair. William Blackley, Virginia, fair. Thomas Douglas, he's from Scotland. John Donnelly, he's from Ireland, brown complexion, dark hair. John Garland, brown shoulder with dark hair. John MacDonald, he's from Scotland, well made with black hair. Andrew Lockhart, he's from Virginia, light haired, well made and freckled. Daniel N. McIntyre, Scotland, well made with scar across his left cheek. Thomas Morris, Virginia, round shouldered, brown complexion. We got William Maynard, he's from Virginia, thick dark hair. Robert Muckleroy, he's from Ireland, spare, made with thick light hair. So a lot of times we don't got the complexion, we just got the hair color. Jeremiah Poor, he's from Virginia, well made, black hair, brown complexion. Richard Powers, he's from Ireland, brown complexion. William Ross, he's from Scotland, spare, made with short brown hair. John Riley, he's from Ireland, brown complexion with brown hair. William Thorpe, from Virginia, he has a large scar on his left cheek with brown hair. John Boswell, he's from Virginia, well made with brown hair. William Thomas, he's from England, spare, made, brown hair. John Taylor, planter from North Carolina, brown complexion, well made with brown hair. John Wright, he's a wagoner from Virginia, brown complexion, scar on his face. Edward Thorne, brown complexion, round shoulders. Richard Pike, baker, Scotland, well made, round shoulders. John Alexander, planter from Virginia, well made, long brown hair. William Gilliam, from Virginia, well made, short brown hair, dark complexion. We got Edward Thorne, brown complexion, from Virginia. Richard Pike, he's from Scotland, well made, brown shoulders. John Alexander, drafted from King William's, planter from Virginia, well made, long brown hair. William Gilliam, he's from Virginia, and he's dark complexion. William Gilliam. William Beer, he's from Virginia, he has dark complexion. Joseph Fletcher, England, thin made with light colored hair. David Groder, from Virginia, thick with short black hair, dark complexion. So he has thick and short black hair, but it's thick and he's dark complexion. David Groder, from Virginia. William Moody, Virginia, brown complexion with brown hair. Walter Knott, Virginia, thin, spare made with long black hair. John Barrack, Taylor, Scotland, well made with scar across his eyebrow. Richard Dunn, he's from England, short, light hair, dark complexion. So John Peddler, planter from England, fair complexion. Thomas Bates, England, long, light hair, fair complexion. Thomas Deakins, from Virginia, he's a ruddy complexion. He's a mason. Edward Sparks, he's from Virginia, with black hair and swarthy complexion. But he's a planter, he ain't a slave. George Davis, from Virginia, black hair, brown complexion. Benjamin Willett, he's fair complexion. Samuel Brown, from Virginia, oval face, Roman nose, light colored hair. William Cox, from England, black hair, very brown complexion. He's from England with a very brown complexion and a what? Thick beard. He has a thick beard with a very brown complexion, but he's from England. Francis Saunders, he's from Virginia, black haired with brown complexion, in need. John Thompson, he's Irish, sandy hair with full face, well made. Achilles Collins. He's from Virginia, brown-haired and well-made. We got Peter Cram. He's Scottish. He's black-haired, in need, swollen ankles. Richard Baldick. He's from Virginia, light-haired, fair complexion, well-made. Gowan Beasley. He's from Virginia, dark-haired with brown complexion. Robert Fell. He's from England, light-haired, ruddy complexion. Roger Brigman. He's from England, dark-haired, thin, wrinkled visage, spare-made. John Saunders. He's from England, brown-haired, pock-fritten, well-made. John Perry. He's from Wales, brown complexion. He's from Wales. Morgan Laughlin. He's from Virginia, black-haired with very dark complexion. Morgan Laughlin has a very dark complexion. And he's what? He's a farmer, all right, with a very dark complexion in 1755. And he's not a slave, but he has a very dark complexion. Daniel Robinson, planter from Virginia, brown complexion, well made. Will Nugent, he's from Ireland, ruddy complexion. William Coughlin, he's from Ireland, black hair mixed with gray, very likely. He's pock-fretting, strong. John Cole, he's from Virginia, black bushy hair, very thick beard. All right, they're not giving us his complexion color, but very descriptive. All right, thick hair, thick beard, bushy hair. All right, you tell me. Robert Wilson, England, dark bushy black hair, well made, blind in the right eye. And he's from England, and he has dark bushy black hair. John Buckley, Ireland, dark hair, bald headed. David Hazel from Scotland, dark hair, brown complexion, little pock-fretting, well made. Size roll of Captain Harry Woodward's company from 1756. Roll gave name, date, and place of enlistment, age, height, trade, country, description. All right, we got Joseph Tent. He's from England, fair complexion. William Evans, he's also from England, fair, well said, red hair. George Whitecotton, he's from Virginia. James Carmichael, Scottish, slim made, ruddy, and long nose. John Scott, he's a Scottish sailor. He's brown complexion, thick and well set. John Clark, Irish, brown, black, brown, black. So brown. All right, so what are they talking about? Brown and black. Brown, black, and then hair. All right, so maybe black hair, brown complexion. Pitted with the smallpox. Abraham Masha. He's Swiss. Brown complexion. A Swiss with brown complexion. Small face, stoops much. John Jones. He's from Virginia. Brown, well set, long visage. James Cope, Virginia. Fair round face. Abraham Jones. He's from Virginia, and he's swarthy with black hair. Abraham Jones. Peter Hardin. He's from Virginia. He's brown complexion, slim made. Absalom Ames Amos. He's from England. Brown complexion with thin black hair. Joseph Cockrill, Virginia, well made, fair. John Chandler. He's from Virginia. He's brown complexion, thick and ugly. Almost a mulatto. He's almost a mulatto, but he's brown complexion. He's almost a mulatto. They're letting you straight up know that he's not as light as a mulatto. He's brown complexion, but he's almost a mulatto. Thomas Croxton, fair complexion. Edward Daughtery, Irish, fair complexion. John Harwood, he's from England, fair. James Mills, Scottish, brown complexion. William McCasters, he's from Maryland. Actually, he's from Scottish, he's fair. Garrett Rangers, he's Dutch with brown skin. Dutch with brown skin. Garrett Rangers. John Mackenzie, he's Scottish, he's also brown skin, black hair, well made. Mordecai MacLeod, he's Scottish, he's brown complexion, of course he is. Short curled hair. All right, so we got a Scottish MacLeod. All right, all these Mac. We got this on one of my Swarthy videos. A lot of these were so-called black, the black Welsh, the black Scots, the black, these they carry these names. All right, you'll see that a lot in if you have Irish, you'll see a lot of these names pop out in your genealogy. All right, again, remember, these might be people of color. You thought they were European, white Europeans. William Sandy, Virginia, brown complexion, very slim, long visage. Robert Wright, He's Irish. He's brown complexion with black hair. John Williams, he's from England. He's also brown complexion with thick and very round shouldered. James Neal, no information. James Richardson, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion. Well made. Matt Carroll, Irish with brown complexion, pitted with the smallpox. Simon Troy, he's Irish. He's well made and likely. Likely what? William Gupton, he's from Virginia. He's fair. Dominic Moran, he's a planter from Virginia. He's brown complexion. Richard Murray, he's from England. Brown complexion, straight hair. Marshall Pratt, he's from Virginia. Terrence McDaniel, he's from Virginia. Brown and thick set. William Scattergood, he's English, fair skinned. Thomas Evans, he's from Virginia, brown complexion with a round face. John Lurie, he's Scottish with brown complexion, well made. Thomas Jones, he's English with brown complexion, pitted with the smallpox. John Kelsey, he's Irish, brown complexion, pitted, well made, thick set. William Heath, no information. Edward Roberts, Irish, brown, dark hair, knock-kneed. Then we got size roll of Captain Robert Stewart's troops of light horse, 30th July 1756. The roll gave the name, the date, and the place of enlistment, age, height, trade, country, and description. David Kennedy, he's from Virginia, a merchant. Actually, he was in Virginia. He's Scottish. He's a Scottish merchant who's dark brown haired and pitted with the smallpox. William Hughes, he's from England, dark brown hair, pitted with the smallpox. William Broughton, from Virginia, dark brown hair and ruddy. Robert Tunstall, he's black hair and ruddy. James Buchanan, Scotland, brown hair, long visage. Robert Cornelius, from Virginia, brown haired and full face. George Clancy, brown haired and ruddy. Thomas Rose, from Maryland, dark brown hair and swarthy. John Eleanor, he's from Germany, brown haired, full face. John Craig, he's from Ireland, light colored hair with white eyebrows. Wow. John Huff, Maryland, black haired, very swarthy, long visage, very swarthy. He's a blacksmith. He's very swarthy. He's not a slave. And he's in Virginia in 1756 as a blacksmith. Also a soldier. James Govers, England, short brown hair, a cast in his eyes. William Martian, he's from England, brown, full-faced, fresh-colored. So it says here, role of Colonel George Washington's company. Says the role gave the name, the name, the date, the county, the abode, or where they lived, age, height, trade, nativity, where they were born, and description. So John Sallard, he's actually from Virginia. He's fair with freckled with reddish hair. All right. I mean, we could almost say this really sounds like a so-called white person. A fair, freckled, reddish hair. But maybe not. We don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he's just light-skinned. John Belford, Ireland, brown with black curling hair, quick in speech, of lively countenance. Peter Tooley, he's Irish, fair and well-made with sandy hair. Samuel Langsworth, he's from Norfolk, I guess Virginia, or Jersey, it says. Well-made and brown, with dark brown hair and complexion. Again, dark brown complexion. Dark brown complexion. He was a tanner, and he's not a slave in the 1700s. William Stewart Packet, planter from Virginia, brown complexion. Another planter from Virginia who was not a slave because he was a planter. Simon Robinson, English, fair complexion. James Campbell, no information. Edward Whitehead, Ireland, brown with dark hair, brown complexion. Launder Hughes, Virginia, fair with scar on the left side of his upper lip. John Hill, a tailor, he's English, he's brown complexion and hair with his right thumb broken. Arthur Dent, he's from England, he's brown complexion and lame in his right thigh by a wound. Abel Mason, Virginia, brown complexion and hair. Thomas Knapp, he's from England, brown complexion and hair. John Nugent, he's from Ireland, he's brown complexion and blemish in his left eye with a jointed little finger and a thumb shot off. Man. Francis Roberts, Virginia, he's brown complexion, hair and likely personage. Benjamin Smith, He's from England, fair complexion. John Trigg. He's from Virginia, complexion and hair brown. Okay, he's brown complexion from Virginia. John Robinson. He's England, fair complexion. Thomas Brown. He's from Ireland, brown complexion and much pitted with smallpox. James Davis. He's Irish, sandy, reddish colored hair. Okay, we got that already. George Hill. He's Irish, brown complexion with black hair. Robert Nash. He's from Virginia, brown hair and complexion. Brown complexion. Joseph Brack from Pennsylvania, brown hair, pitted with the smallpox, affected in right shoulder. John Macmillan, Virginia. He's brown haired and complexion. John Robinson. He's from Scotland. He's brown complexioned and dark haired. We got Lachlan McLean. He's from Scotland with also brown complexion with dark hair. All right, size roll of Captain Mercer's company. Roll gave name, date in place of enlistment, age, height, trade, country, and description. All right, it says here Angus MacDonald's. The seaman, Scotland. All right, black, so-called black. All right, John Matthews, England, brown complexion. John Grinnan, Virginia. He's fair, lusty, well set. Samuel French, Maryland, black complexion. He's a sawyer. All right, he's not a slave. He has black complexion. He's in Maryland in 1756, working as a sawyer and a soldier. Nothing about him being a slave here. John Pope, Virginia, fair, fresh look, fair hair. Benjamin Barrett, Ireland, brown complexion, large scar on the left side of his forehead. Samuel Strickland, Virginia, fair complexion. Edward Evans, he's a drummer from Scotland who has brown complexion. He's one of the drummers, the drum boys, right? Daniel Beavens, he's a sawyer from England with dark complexion. All right, an Englishman with dark complexion, very well set, full round face, fresh colored. William Colston, he's from England with brown complexion and dark hair. He has a large nose though. William Bromley, Virginia, fair skin, fresh colored, well looking. John Hedgeman, he's from Virginia with black complexion, and he's a carpenter, right? All right. We got John Hedgeman again, 1754. Slavery's supposedly not over, right? Nothing about him being a freed man or colored troops or nothing like that, but he is black complexion. He's a carpenter in Virginia in 1754. Duncan Murray, seaman, he's from Scotland. He's brown complexion, all right, with dark hair. Joseph Morris, Virginia, dark complexion, straight black hair, simple look. John Edwards from Virginia, fair. Ambrose Long, fair, stoops in his shoulders and has a Roman nose. Ignatius Edwards, Maryland, fair. All right, Henry Neville, he's a planter from Virginia with brown complexion, dark skin, and Snuffles. So he has a brown complexion with dark skin. I mean, that's not going to get any more descriptive right there. And he has snuffles, all right, just in case. You see him, and you see somebody with snuffles, that's him. Archibald Lockhart. He's from Scotland with a dark complexion, smooth face, short, curled hair. Another dark complexion Scottish person with curled hair. Speaks upon the brog. Talk to you guys real quick. So, what do you guys think about this? All right. I mean, are we just gonna keep trying to figure out are we really talking about Black Europeans? Could these people really be in our family? Could we really have these ancestry? Only way you can find out is by doing your genealogy, and just finding this book, confirming everything. I mean, to me, that's the Great Spirit. To me, it's just they can't stop this. They can't stop this. You guys understand what we're doing here, right? We're rewriting history. Virginia's Colonial Soldiers, all right, from the 1700s. Lloyd DeWitt box truck, fair use. All right, Matthew Neely, he's from Ireland. He's brown complexion. Now, does brown complexion also mean white and pale? All right, does it? No, right? Not usually. It shouldn't. What color are you? Look at the mirror. Likely well set with fine black curled hair. Again, curled hair. Black curled hair. So we got an Irish man who's not white, he's brown. He don't got red hair, right? He got black curled hair. John Salmon, he's from Virginia. He got a dark complexion and brown skin. John Keaton, Virginia, dark complexion, likely has been lately hurting his left arm. Thomas Combs, he's from Maryland. He's fair complexion, right? Matthew Fling, he's from Ireland, black complexion. An Irishman, black complexion, right? Large beard, scar on his face. Francis Farmer, England, brown complexion, fresh looking, well set. John Morgan, he's from Virginia. He's brown low. Oh, he's brown low. Oh, brown, and he's low. Benjamin Stark, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. George Seaton, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Brown skin, thin visage, small legs. Joseph Williams, Virginia, he's fair, it says, with red hair. Okay, very red hair. So here we go. A fair guy with red hair, but he's from Amelia County. If you guys know the history of Amelia County, that was all Saponis there. Saponi Indians, the Saponi cabins. Look it up. Thomas Snipes, Virginia, brown complexion, brown skin. William Strain, he's from Ireland. He's dark complexion and Irish. What? So-called black Irish. Well said, scar on the forehead, bow-legged. He's bow-legged, all right? James Williams, Virginia, fair complexion. John Organ, from Virginia, fair complexion. Christopher Scully, he's from Ireland with black complexion. Black complexion. All right? So are we supposed to say, well, Kurimeo, black means white back then? All right, well, 1828's dictionary hasn't been written yet. This is from the 1700s. Edward Manning, Ireland, brown complexion, fresh looking, speaks much like a brog. Says John Coyne, he's from Ireland. He's red-headed. Okay, so we got an actual red-headed Irish. All right, it's not telling us his complexion though. So I want you to know, guys, that redhead didn't always automatically mean a white person, right? Joseph Price, Virginia, brown complexion. William Bedient, he's from England, dark complexion. An Englishman with a dark complexion. Edward Gill, he's from Ireland, he's fair complexion. John Juggins, he's from England, brown complexion, brown skin. All right. Joseph Hancock, he's from Virginia with brown complexion. William Harris, from Virginia, fair, fresh complexion. Andrew Kennis, Scotland, he's brown complexion. David McGinnett, he's from Ireland with black complexion. Again, a so-called black Irish. Thick and well set, straight black hair and down look. John Gale, from England, black complexion. Samuel Thomas, bricklayer, from England, dark complexion. Well set with a large black beard and short curled hair. Short curled hair. He's black, he's dark complexion with short curled hair, and he's from England. John Adams, he's from England, brown complexion, brown skin, large black mole over his left eye. John Jones, he's from England. I believe it says brown complexion there. I cut it off a little bit. Brown skin at the end, as you can see in the bottom. All right. We got John. Okay, so we got John Jones. We already got that. Brown skin. William Dodson. He is brown complexion. All right. Joseph Dillard. He's from Virginia. Brown complexion. Joseph Perry. He's from Virginia. Brown complexion. All right. I know I'm going over. Sound like a record. It might get boring. Don't fall asleep, guys. Got some more stuff coming. All right. So the reason I'm doing this is because, and I already got the comment telling me that I named out their relatives. I named out people's relatives. They saw them. All right. So in case you might have heard of this name in your genealogy, in your family history, during this time in Virginia, most likely this is your ancestor. All right. Just look into it. That's why I'm doing this, so you guys can have this reference. All right. Where was I? Perry, right? Samuel Carson, brown complexion, well looking, fresh color. John Clatterburg, from Virginia, brown complexion. Andrew Ross, Virginia, brown complexion. William King, he's from Virginia, fairly likely, well said, thin visage. Gabriel Neville, he's from Virginia, don't give us a complexion. Thomas Latin, Ireland, brown complexion, sturdy, low man, very brisk, talks much on the brogue. Henry Orme, England, squat, well set man, round face, bow-legged. John Greenaway, Virginia, fair complexion. John Sylvie, from England, fair complexion, slim, spare, thin face. He's likely a man with smooth face, very black eyes. John Carroll, all right. He's Irish. He's dark complexion. Again, a so-called black Irish. Dark complexion. Bold-looking man. Large black beard. Peter Banner. He's from England. He's brown complexion. All right, next page. We got James Somerville from Scotland. Dick Wellset, Sandy Nathaniel Barrett, a planter from Virginia, freckled, sandy hair. Robert Seaman, England, brown complexion, good countenance. James Fitzgerald from Ireland, black complexion. Again, what? So-called black Irish. Likely well-made man, talks much on the brogue. Thomas Monjoy, a planter from Virginia, dark complexion. All right, so we're talking about people in the 1700s being described as a dark complexion, most likely a so-called Negro. And again, he's a planter. He's not a slave. I want you to notice, I remember that. So even the ones that are from over here, like Virginia, Maryland, all that, they're not even slaves. All right. John Cotland, Virginia, brown complexion, one cheek larger than the other. Whoa. Samuel Burton from Virginia, fresh. John Askins from Virginia, brown complexion. Philemon Askins from Virginia, brown complexion. Thomas Donahoe from Ireland, fair. James Mills from Virginia, fair complexion. John White from Ireland, he's freckled. Speaks much of the brogue. James Power, he's from Virginia with dark complexion. Dark hair, well made. We got here the size roll of Captain Thomas Wanager's company. 1756, the roll gave the name, height, age, complexion, country, trade, by whom enlisted in description. Francis Austin. All right, so he's short, black hair, full face, right leg larger than his left. Mark Hollis, he's dark complexion. He's from England. All right, and he got brown curling hair. Lost 2 fingers from his left hand. Samuel Poe, he's from England. He's dark complexion from England. All right, John Creech, he's brown complexion from Ireland. George Selman, he's ruddy from Scotland. John Cole, he's ruddy from Scotland with brown curling hair. John Franklin, he's brown complexion from New England. All right. Reuben Bentel, Virginia. Planter, it says Captain John Savage, dark short hair. He was with Captain John Savage. It says Moses Drummond, Virginia. Well made, thin visage, short brown hair. Daniel Wright, he's a planter from Virginia. He's dark complexion. And then we got James Miles. He's brown complexion. He's from Ireland. All right. Thomas Williams, dark complexion. He's from Wales. Dark complexion from Wales, a dark Welsh. We get a lot of references of that when you start doing the studies. You'll see a lot of dark Welsh runaway ads, just like the Irish. And then we got Robert Stewart. He's black complexion, the Stewart. Now, again, what did we learn earlier about Swarthy? Stuart. Because Stuart is Stuart with S-T-U-A-R-T, Stuart. German for black. Stuart meant black, so-called black. Stuart, black. Scotland, Scottish, right? Doesn't it fit where the Stuarts came out of? The Scottish Highlands, right? King James, he was a Stuart. Robert Stewart, black, so-called black, Scottish. All right. John Mercer, dark skin. Oh, I didn't even know there was more people. I was skipping over some people, huh? Well, you guys get to see this. You got the screenshot now. So John Mercer's dark skin, brown hair, slow spoken. We got Joseph Broadway. So, man, he is brown complexion from Maryland. We got Captain Robert Stewart. He's dark skin. Again, Stewart, dark skin. Thomas Hitchcock. All right, so I think this Robert Stewart might have been the last guy who was being called black. So again, there you go. Black doesn't mean white because this might be the same guy and he's dark skinned here. Thomas Hitchcock, dark complexion. He's from England. Thomas Wagner, full flat nose, well made, for brown. John Haley, he's dark complexion from Virginia. Remarkable thick legs. Full face, black straight hair. Man, he must have liked his legs when he was taking notes. He got some remarkable thick legs. Joseph Niblet, he's brown complexion from England. Captain Thomas Wagner. Okay, Thomas Wagner. Okay. We're describing. Short brown curling hair. Jeremiah Taylor. He's brown complexion from Virginia. Robert Elliott, brown complexion from Ireland. Edward Russell, he's ruddy complexion from Ireland. Alexander Bono, he's dark complexion from Ireland, dark complexion. Edward Painter, dark complexion from England. Edward Harmon, ruddy from England. John Connor, oh, we got a John Connor again. All right, Terminator. Brown complexion, Ireland. With brown curling hair. All right. Alexander Turnbull. He's from Ireland, planner. William McNulty. He's brown complexion from Ireland. John Atwood. He's ruddy from England. Thomas Kin, ruddy from England. Short brown hair, long nose. Jesse May. He's ruddy from England. We got Hugh Paul, dark complexion from Scotland. Dark curling hair with dark complexion from Scotland. Christopher Huffman. And then we got, he's fair complexion from Pennsylvania. We got William House, brown complexion from Virginia. All right. William Price, brown complexion from Virginia. We got William Rogers, he's fair complexion from England. We got John Christie, dark complexion from Virginia. Moses Jacobs, he's fair complexion from Virginia. Henry Austin, brown complexion from Virginia. James Moore, he's brown complexion from England. Thomas Newborn, he's fair complexion from England. Lawrence Rigby, he's fair complexion from New York. John Rhee, fair complexion from Virginia. We got Isaac Anderson, he's ruddy complexion from Jersey. George Felton, brown complexion from England. We got John Dunn, the Duns. All right, the Duns, I know for a fact the Duns, these Irish Duns were people of color, so-called Black Irish. Trust me. Brown complexion, Ireland. John King, brown complexion from Virginia. William Bosman, dark complexion from Virginia. James Wilmore, he's brown complexion from Virginia. Says drafted from King and Queen, straight dark hair. Size roll of the 7th Company Virginia Regiment, commanded by Captain Joshua Lewis. The roll gave the name, enlisting officer, the date, the age, the height, the trade, the country, the place of enlistment, and description. All right, we start with Henry Williams. He's a planner from Ireland. Fredericktown, he's what? Swarthy complexion. Can I get a so swarthy? Hashtag so swarthy. Where's Kiowa at? Kiowa's MIA these days, but we know he's busy working. James Thomas, sail maker, Scotland. Alexander, he's pale complexion. There you go. All right, very specific. A Scottish with pale complexion, and then we got an Irish with what? Swarthy complexion right over him. You see the distinguishment, right? All right, George Clark, he's a shoemaker from England. He's red complexion. Dougald Campbell, he's from Scotland. John Grant, a planter from Ireland with the smallpox, brown hair. James Donaldson, Scotland, Stafford, dark complexion. Thomas Edwards, he's brown complexion. He lost one eye. Daniel Gowen, Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Hudson, he's from England, Lancaster, brown complexion with blue eyes. Interesting, right? Brown complexion with blue eyes. Okay, it says Charles Johnson Lloyd, planner from Virginia, red complexion, dark hair. Henry Moxham, he's from England, dark complexion. James Marsh, England, Stafford, swarthy, so swarthy. James Marsh is so swarthy. He's from England. He's an English black English man. All right, so-called black. Swarthy. We got the definition earlier, right? Just in case. If you missed it, it's all over the dictionaries. Google it right now. Google Swarthy right now, see what you get. Martin May, Ireland. Amelia, pale complexion with dark brown hair. Matthew Robotham, he's from Charles City, Virginia. He's blue eyes, scalded head. William Lodren, he's from England, dark complexion from England. Alexander Stewart, a planter from Scotland, fair complexion and blue eyes. Daniel Sullivan, seaman from Ireland, Port Royal. Port Royal. Are we talking about Jamaica? Port Royal, Jamaica? What are we talking about here? Irish, a Swarthy, Irish, so Swarthy. Irish, so Swarthy. Thomas Simpson, he's from Virginia with a Swarthy complexion. All right now. All right, so John Wade, he's a seaman from England. He's ruddy complexion, brown hair, more subtle. Seaman from Ireland, ruddy complexion. William White, a planter from Scotland, pale complexion. John Williams, he's from Wales. He's Swarthy, so Swarthy. John Williams, the Williams family, Swarthy from Wales, a black Welsh. Robert Walters, red complexion. William Austin, England, pale complexion. John Bassett, Scotland. Doesn't say the complexion, says he has black hair though. Samuel Busher from Virginia. Amelia, there you go, Swarthy complexion. Amelia County, that was Saponi land, the Saponi cabins. John Carwick from Ireland, dark complexion. Thomas Hall from England, ruddy complexion. Christopher Fry, he's a farmer from Holland. All right, Holland, Swarthy complexion with smallpox. All right, Holland, he's Dutch, right? Black Dutch. Holland, who was in Holland? What was Amsterdam? Amsterdam was the New Jerusalem, where the Sephardic people of color Jews from Iberia, Spain, and Portugal, when they got kicked out and expelled, they ended up in Holland. All right, Brazil and all these places, and then eventually they gathered up in Holland, wherever they were coming from again, and they made that their haven, their New Jerusalem. That's where all these Sephardic Jews were going, you know. And again, we have one right here, most likely. He's a Dutch. He's a so-called Swarthy, so-called Black Dutch. All right, Christopher Fry. We got Der Covey, seaman England. He's Swarthy complexion from England. Swarthy complexion. Oh, so Swarthy. That's right, Stanley. So Swarthy. What is the majority of these people? So Swarthy. Right? We see a lot less fair, right? We see a lot more brown and dark, black, Swarthy complexions, right? Are you guys starting to see? Are you guys really starting to see with your third eye? James Jenkins, England, dark complexion. Joseph Bridge, dark complexion from Virginia. Thomas Bailey from England, dark complexion. Thomas Delaney from Virginia, dark complexion. John McFarland, he's fair complexion. We got Thomas Delaney from Virginia, dark complexion. John McFarland from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Farrell from England, fair complexion. Charles Wynn, black complexion from Virginia, so-called black, right? He's a laborer. Joshua Lamb, he's a barber from England, fair complexion. James Venable from Virginia, fair complexion. John Holloway from Virginia, dark complexion. Jesse Bryant, fair complexion. David Davis, Virginia, brown complexion. Richard Hall from Virginia, brown complexion. Joshua Purdue from Amelia County, brown complexion. Another possible Saponi. John Benson from Virginia, Accomack from the Accomack County, brown complexion. Says Bro McWilliams, or Bro McWilliams. He's a blacksmith from Virginia. He's fair complexion. James Cooper from Virginia, brown complexion. We got Isham Kirkland. He's from Virginia, and he's brown complexion. Adam Rutherford. He's from Virginia, fair complexion. James Atkinson, all right, from Virginia, fair complexion, all right. Make sure you hit the like as you come in. Make sure you share this. Help me share this. Help me make this mainstream. Share, 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 share to everybody. William Jesse, a planter from Virginia, fair complexion. John Clark from the Isle of Wight, fair complexion. Abraham Moon, Virginia, a Negro. Remember, we're not talking always about complexion here. A lot of the time, a Negro could be status. He could just be a straight up somebody who's been raised to be like or be treated as a slave, and he's just being labeled a Negro, right? What is, because what is Swarthy? What is Swarthy? We read the definition earlier of Swarthy. What did it say? Black like an African. All right, Michael Hinchy, Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Pate, Virginia, Winchester. Abraham Haslope, Southampton, fair complexion. James Littrop, fair complexion. He's from Virginia. William Lamb, he's from Prince George County, fair complexion. William Croswell from Northumberland, brown, fair complexion. We got Anthony Godfrey from England, brown complexion. James Mitchell from England, fair complexion. John Leakey from Maryland, brown complexion. Abraham Wimbrow from Virginia, fair complexion. James Butler, no description. Richmond Ashwell, brown complexion. Stephen Blankenship, he's from Chesterfield, Virginia, dark complexion. Benjamin Wilson from Virginia, dark complexion. Daniel Porter from Virginia, fair complexion. James Holloway from Virginia, he's dark complexion. James Holloway. Richard Baldock from Virginia, fair complexion. Philip Reed from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Hope, he's from England, fair complexion. We got Christopher Best, Virginia, fair complexion. Anthony Stilts, a carpenter from Germany, fair complexion. Edward Gill from Virginia, brown complexion. John Johnson from England, England and Maryland, brown complexion, black hair. Thomas Townsend from Virginia, Nansemond County, brown complexion. Ephraim Pope, I think I've seen this name. I'm doing somebody's genealogy. He's from Virginia, Nansemond, brown complexion. I think this is one of the persons I've done. If you're out there listening, I think this is your ancestor right here that we went over. Henry Carrier from England. He's what? Swarthy. He's so Swarthy from England. Joshua Wells from England, brown complexion with black hair. Thomas Carrier from England, blinked eyes, light hair. William Wire, he's from England, fair complexion. Andrew Roth from Germany, brown complexion, a German with brown complexion. Garrett Ranger from Holland, swarthy complexion. All right, we got another so-called Black Dutch, swarthy, possible, most likely Sephardic Jew. All right, person of color, a Moor who came out of Iberia, Spain, and Portugal. They were persecuted, expelled, and ended up in Holland. A lot of these people. All right, and then they came into this country as a Dutch or somebody from Holland, but they were crypto Jews. John Francis, Maryland, Frederick, brown complexion. List of men brought by John Wyatt from Gloucester. This is July and August 1757. The list gave the age, the name, the age, nativity, the complexion, the trade, and the height. Christopher Smith, 21. He's sandy complexion. He's a planter from Virginia. William Routry, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Richard Gills from Virginia, brown complexion. John Meggs from Virginia, brown complexion. George Pickens from Virginia, brown complexion. William Barefoot from Virginia, brown complexion. William Simon from Virginia, also brown complexion. Stripple Hill Howard from Virginia, brown complexion. John Greenaway from Virginia, brown complexion. John Huggett, sounds like Huggenut, Virginia, brown complexion. Richard Morgan from Virginia, brown complexion. Joshua Bridge from Virginia, brown complexion. William Bluxkull from England, also brown complexion. William Barnett, Virginia, brown complexion. John Buchanan, Virginia, brown complexion. Thomas Newburn from he's English, he's brown complexion as well. All right, so I hope you guys saw almost all these people were people of color. So was this one of those Color troops. Huh? You talking about brown? That's a crayon color. That's not pale. Brown is not pale. Brown is not white. Anybody brown would be called colored, right? Is this a colored troop? Nope. This is just a regular troop. Because they ain't distinguishing between blacks and white. Yeah, like that. James City militia recruits, it says down here. And it starts with Isaac Rains. He's from England and he's dark complexion. We got John Jones up here from England, also dark complexion. List of soldiers enlisted in King and Queen County. List game name, age, country, trade, height, and description. John Evans, a Virginia planter, fair complexion. John Cole, another Virginia planter. He's black, so-called black complexion. Richard Baldick from Virginia, fair complexion. Achilles Collins from Virginia, fair complexion. James Wilmore from Virginia, brown complexion. Thomas Gregory, a planter from Virginia, fair complexion. William Barton, Virginia, fair complexion. Francis Saunders from Virginia, dark complexion. John Kellyham from Virginia, dark complexion. Lancaster County recruits. All right, the Lancaster County recruits. It says James Moore from England, brown complexion. George Mitchell from Virginia, brown complexion. Miller Doggett from Virginia, brown complexion. William Laurie from Virginia, brown complexion. James Richard from Virginia, brown complexion. John Waller from England, brown complexion. Richard Johnston from Virginia, black complexion. So all these people were people of color, right? All right. You gotta have color if you're brown. That means you have color if you're brown. People of color, right? All right. So Colonial Soldiers of Virginia, right? We're reading all these descriptions. Now look at these four guys right here. I guess the person, the third person right there, almost in the middle, he could be considered fair, right? Next to them, right? And they could be considered brown, right? To me, that's brown skin right there. I see brown complexion. Yes or no? So just picture these four guys back in 1700s. That's what we're reading right now. That's what we're reading right now. All right. Dodge the hijack. Dodge your own hijack. All right. Again, we're down here. All right. So it says Timothy Sullivan. He's from Ireland. Swarthy complexion, right? Long bushy hair. So you guys can see long bushy hair. All right. You see that, right? Long bushy hair, swarthy complexion, and he's from Ireland. John Brown, England, swarthy complexion, long black hair, swarthy complexion. John Keaton from Ireland. And then we got over here, we got Thomas Thompson, Scotland, swarthy complexion. Scottish with swarthy complexion, right? Full face, large nose, long black hair. John Felton from England, fair complexion. Thomas Shepard from England, he's brown complexion. Samuel Baxter from England, he's fair and ruddy, little marked with smallpox. George Clancy, Maryland, swarthy and thin visage, long brown hair. John Lorbuck, it says he's from Germany, and he's swarthy. There we go. All right, confirming what Benjamin Franklin was saying. Freddie McCoy from Scotland, fair complexion. John Eleanor from Germany, ruddy complexion. Patrick Galloway from Ireland, he's a ruddy complexion, dark hair. William Coughlin from Ireland, ruddy complexion, dark brown hair. John Harwood from England, swarthy, so swarthy complexion. We're down here. All right, dark curly hair. All right, an Englishman who's swarthy with dark curly hair. Richard Bolton from England, swarthy complexion with dark hair, a lump on the right side of his chin, swarthy, so swarthy. Says John Doolan from Ireland, fair complexion. Francis Allen from England, Swarthy complexion, black eyebrows, black hair. Well, wouldn't most people have black eyebrows? Well, he's not a blonde, right? So he must have had some big eyebrows. That's why he was making note of it. Well, he got black eyebrows. They were probably really big. Thomas Phipps from England. He's fair complexion. Peter Quinn from Ireland, ruddy complexion. William Horne from Ireland, ruddy complexion, brown curly hair. Alexander Bonwell from Ireland, pale. There you go, pale complexion, pale. We got a pale man. We got the pale man right here. All right. Who's the minority? After all the research, who's really the minority? Simon Barrett, swarthy complexion from Virginia. John Clemens from Virginia, fair complexion. John Fraser from Scotland, swarthy complexion, so swarthy. John Haynes from Virginia, fair complexion. John Buffkin from Virginia, swarthy complexion, swarthy, so-called black man, so-called Negro, swarthy complexion. He's a laborer. He's not a slave. 1755. Peter Simmons or Simons, England. He's fair complexion. John Fegwit, all right. He's from Virginia. John Fegwit, fair complexion. James Chick, he's ruddy complexion. He's from Virginia. John Trudback from Ireland. He's swarthy complexion. Mole on the left cheek, black hair. Jeremiah Hoey, Ireland. He's fair complexion. John Gee, Prince George, fair complexion. John Paynes from England. He's pale complexion. John Lauter from England, fair complexion. John Alderton, he's from Virginia with swarthy complexion. He has a scar on his nose. George White, Virginia, he's fair complexion with dark hair. Alexander Fraser from Scotland, he's so swarthy complexion. Scotland, pitted with the smallpox. He squints both eyes. John Bolton, he's from England, fair complexion. John McNaull, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. Charles Rode, he's from Ireland, he's fair complexion. John Daly, and let's see what he is. John Daly is ruddy complexion. Baker Perkins from Virginia, let me just zoom in, and he's ruddy. We got Henson McDougal from Virginia, ruddy complexion from Amelia County. Possible Saponi. Alexander Johnston from Virginia, ruddy complexion. George Andrew from Scotland, fair complexion. John Garrett from Virginia, black hair with ruddy complexion. He's also in Amelia County. Matthew Hopkins from Virginia, ruddy complexion. Charles Carnes from Germany, he's brown complexion. Brown, German, a brown complexion German with black hair. So where's this blue-eyed, blonde, tall, pale Germans? Edmund Freeman, he's a Freeman. He's from Virginia. Nansemond, he's brown complexion. Now you tell me, all right? He's 6 feet tall. He's 24, 6 feet tall. He's from Virginia. His last name is Freeman, and he's brown complexion from Nansemond County, Virginia. What do you guys think? Abraham Ellis from Virginia, 5'9", and he's brown complexion, Nansemond County as well, scar on his upper lip. Isham Holland from Virginia, fair complexion. John Hody from Virginia, ruddy complexion. William Lewis from Virginia, brown complexion. Nathaniel Walker, ruddy complexion. William Goddard from Virginia, ruddy complexion. May Ransom from Virginia, pale complexion. Daniel McNeil from Virginia, swarthy, so swarthy, small nose, pitted with smallpox. Robert Dunlap, 6'2", 5'9", the other guy, and this guy is 6'2", Virginia. He's swarthy, okay? So we got a swarthy complexion person who's 6'2". All right, he's from Virginia. Eleanor Reynolds from Virginia, a planter, fair complexion. John Warren from England, ruddy complexion. William Mason from England, fair complexion. William Thompson from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Dixon from he's from, let me see, Winchester, Northampton, brown complexion. Jeremiah Edwards from England, he's fair complexion. Ezekiel Venter from Virginia, fair complexion. David Davis from Virginia, swarthy complexion, large eyebrows, brown shoulders, dark hair. Joshua King from Virginia, brown complexion, dark eyebrows, dark brown eyes. Francis Arnold from Virginia, he's ruddy complexion. We got Henry Long from Scotland, ruddy complexion. George Curtis from Virginia, pale complexion, large nose, dark hair. William Payton from Virginia, we got ruddy complexion. Thomas Perroni from Virginia, fair complexion. Joseph Hughes from Virginia, fair complexion. Joshua Jones from Virginia, swarthy complexion, so swarthy. Patrick Murphy from Ireland, he's ruddy complexioned. Thomas Adams, he's a drummer from England, ruddy complexion. John Petty, another drummer from England, he's fair complexion. And down here, okay, we got that. Now we got over here, size roll of Colonel George Washington, 28th of August, 1757. Roll gave the name, the place, and enlistment, age, height, trade, country, and description. John Sallard, he's from Virginia. All right, we got much from him. Reuben Vass from Virginia, dark complexion. James Littlepage, he's from Virginia. He's fair and freckled. Charles Stringham, New York, ruddy complexion. James Campbell from Scotland, ruddy complexion, dark hair. Jeremiah Puckett from Virginia, fair complexion. Samuel Longworth from New Jersey, dark complexion. Simon Robinson, bricklayer from England, fair complexion. John Pope from Virginia, he's dark complexion. John Trigg from Virginia, brown complexion. We got Thomas Brown, he's from Ireland, he's dark complexion, so-called black, dark complexion, Irish. Joshua Briggs from Pennsylvania, dark complexion. Arthur Dent from England, brown complexion. George Hill from Ireland, brown complexion. Abraham Mason from Virginia, brown hair and complexion, so he's brown complexion. Lachlan MacLean from Scotland, brown complexion and hair. John Nugent from Ireland, he is brown complexioned. Francis Roberts from Virginia, very likely fellow, brown complexion and hair. William Bagent from England, dark complexion. From England, dark complexion. Edward Whitehead from Ireland, brown complexion. William Stewart Pushett, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexioned. Got John Silvey, he's a planter from England, ruddy complexion. John Adams, a bricklayer from England, he's brown complexion, well made. Darby, he's a Virginia, he's a fair complexion. Thomas West is from England, and he's very dark complexion, very dark. All right, emphasis. Thomas West, he's from England, very dark complexion, very dark complexion, very dark complexion from England. Let that sink in. Joseph Morris from Virginia, dark complexion. John Organ from Virginia, fair complexion. John Askins from Virginia, dark complexion. Thomas Snipes from Virginia, dark complexion. Christopher Scully, dark complexion. He's from Virginia as well. We got Something Sparks, he's from England, ruddy face. Joseph Handcock from Virginia, he's fair complexion. John Robinson from Virginia, fair, sandy hair, not well made. John Fisher, he's from Germany. He's a German with what? Dark complexion. A German with dark complexion. All right. Aaron Hughes from Virginia, pale complexion. John Juggins, He's a planter from England, brown complexioned. James Fitzpatrick, he's from Ireland. He's brown complexioned. All right. Irish, brown complexion. Fitzpatrick. Francis Farmer from England, ruddy face. Peter Mingus, a Scottish, pale complexion. All right. James Williams, he's from Virginia. He's ruddy complexion. Archibald Lockhart, a carpenter from Scotland, brown complexion. Edward Sutton, a tailor from England, red face. That says David McGinnett. It says from Ireland, brown complexion. Thomas Jackson from England, brown, much pitted with smallpox. John Mayne, he's from England, red faced, dark brown hair. David Evans from England, brown complexion, brown hair, very well made. William Strain, an Irish man with red face. John Gale from England, brown complexion. John Greenaway, a planter from Virginia, dark complexion, flaxen hair. William Stevens from England, he's fair complexion. Jeremiah Wilson, he's from England, ruddy, broad face, dark hair. John Coughlin, he's from Virginia, ruddy complexion. John McMillan, a planter from Maryland, brown complexion. Solomon Long, a planter from Holland, red complexion. Richard Singster, a sailor from England, red complexion. John Bridges, a farmer from England, dark complexion, dark hair, gray eyes. Joseph Smart, a planter from England, red face, sandy hair. John Highland from England, dark complexion. Philip Askins from Virginia, brown complexion. Charles Knight from England, dark complexion. William Baylist from England, brown complexion. John Burns from Ireland, brown complexion. John Carroll from Ireland, brown complexion. Brown complexion. Carroll, an Irish surname. Carroll. John Connor stepping in an area. Remember, he's a time traveler. He's from the Terminator, so he's Irish and he's brown complexioned. He's William Garam from England, dark complexion. Ugly, ill-made fellow. Oh man, why did you have to diss him like that, man? Why you had to put ugly, ill-made fellow? Why was that necessary? You think that, they'll remember that. George Lewis from Wales, he's brown complexion. Patrick McLean, he's from Ireland. He's red-faced. William McGaw, a planter from Ireland, dark complexion, brown and straight hair. We got Benjamin Smith. Benjamin Smith is from England, red complexion. William White from Virginia, pale complexion. John Hamilton, a planter from Ireland, pale complexion. Henry Wilshire, Ireland, brown complexion. Lawrence White, he's from Ireland, dark complexion. Irish with dark complexion. Are you guys seeing the trend? Are you guys seeing the pattern here? William McIntyre, Scotland, dark complexion from Scotland, and a dark complexion from Ireland person. So, all right, these two people are Europeans, and they're both so-called Negro, dark-skinned people. John King from England, dark complexion, dark brown hair, pitted with the smallpox. Joseph Curtis from Ireland, fresh complexion. William Withers from England, dark complexion, dark eyebrows with gray eyes. James Fitzgerald, he's a weaver from Ireland, dark complexion, black hair. We got Edward Gill, he's from Ireland, fair complexion. John Plackett again from Ireland, dark complexion. William Fitzgerald, a planter from Ireland, brown complexion. John Crookshank from Scotland, fair complexion. Joshua Williams from Virginia, fair freckled red hair. Edward Brown, England, red faced. We got the size roll of Captain Thomas Wagner's company at Fort Holland in the South Branch, August 1755. The roll gave the name, the county, the age, the height, and the complexion, country, and trade. Francis Austin Prince William. All right, he's 5'9", he's dark complexion, and he's from England. Samuel Poe from Northumberland. Northumberland. You guys see I'm having trouble with this word. He's dark complexion. He's also from England, so we got two English with dark complexion. John Creoch from Ireland. He's brown complexion. Baby Brooks from Virginia, brown complexion. George Solomons, he's ruddy from Scotland. John Cole, he's ruddy from Scotland as well. John Franklin, brown complexion from New England. Richard Gale X is brown from England. Thomas Moss, he's red complexion from England. George Jenkins, he's swarthy. He's from Virginia. All right, he's a drummer. Daniel Wright from Culpeper, Virginia. A lot of genealogy going back to there. Dark, all right, dark complexion. He's from Virginia. He's a planter. He ain't no slave. He's a planter. He has his own farm. He's not a slave. He's dark-skinned person, a so-called Negro. In the 1700s, he's not a slave. He's a planter. John Miles, he's from Ireland. He's brown complexion. Thomas Williams, he's Welsh. He's brown complexion. Robert Stewart, right? What do we know about the Stewarts again? That they're what? Dark brown, or they're so-called black, dark brown. He's Scottish, right? Dark brown, Scottish. Stewart, dark brown, Scottish. Stewart, dark brown, Scottish. Stewart. Let that sink in. Dream about that. Thomas Hitchcock. He's dark complexion, England. John Halley, dark complexion from Virginia. Jeremiah Taylor, Accomack, dark complexion, Virginia. Robert Elliott, he's from Ireland, dark complexion, he's a planter. Edward Purcell, he's red complexion from Ireland. William Rogers, fair complexion from England. James Willimore, brown complexion from Virginia. Lawrence Rigby, he's from New York, he's fair complexioned. Alexander Grant, he's from Scotland, fair complexion. All right, we got Alexander Grant. Edward Davis from Culpeper, brown complexion. John Hanna, red, Ireland. Edward Lewick, brown complexion, Ireland. Emmanuel Mills, England. He's yellow complexion from England. James Fraser, yellow complexion from Scotland. David Roundery, brown complexion from England. Brown complexion. John Farmer, brown complexion from Ireland. William Smith, brown complexion from Virginia. Joseph Hamilton, dark complexion from Virginia. William Short, 5'9", dark complexion from Ireland. Not Ethiopian, he's Irish. And he's dark, so-called Negro, Irish. Right? Irish, dark, he's not Ethiopian. Richard Willis, dark, from Virginia. Willis Scopel, yellow complexion from Virginia. Jonas Crickmore, brown complexion from Virginia. Edward Grimes, brown complexion from Virginia. Anthony Wharton, he's from England, brown complexion. Thaddeus Pruitt, yellow complexion from Virginia. James Roberts, fair complexion. Edward Parrott Nansemond, fair from Virginia. William Bearcroft, Northumberland, fair complexion. John Pendergrass, fair complexion from Virginia. William Combs, James City, he's a mulatto from Virginia in the 1700s who was a planter. James Major, 5'7", brown complexion from Virginia. Edward Jones, 5'10", brown complexion, Virginia. James Biggers, brown complexion from Virginia. Henry Jones, fair complexion from Virginia. William Fitzgerald, wow, Fitzgerald, he's yellow complexion from Amelia. Amelia County where the Saponies were. All right, yellow complexion. Who's the yellow man? Yeah. So again, what are we talking about? We're talking about Virginia's colonial soldiers. Yeah, we're getting a full description of these people, what they look like. You know, it's like the book describes, we read this on part 1. It's like you're face to face with the person, all right? They describe everything. Even if the person has a wiggle, all right? Even if he has a wiggle while he walks, you know, a wiggle while he walks. Even if it's an Irish swarthy person with a wiggle in his walk, you already know. All right, so Lloyd DeWitt Buckstruck is the author of this book. John Pompey Sussex, he's labeled a Negro. That's why I want to start out with this. You know, now we're talking about status, or what are we talking about? But he's from Virginia. Now are we to assume he's an African? Somebody being labeled a Negro because of status, meaning he's a chattel, indentured servant for life. He could just be an Indian. He could be from the Caribbean. You know, he could be a black European. He can be both. He can be all three, all above. All right. So he's from Virginia, but he's a planter. Does it say slave? Does it say slave? Doesn't say slave there. Matthew Whitehead, Sussex. He's fair. He's from Virginia. John Barnett. He's red. He's from England. George Powell. He's fair from Virginia. John Kishman. He's red from England. John Murphy. He's fair from Ireland. Daniel Ryan. He's brown. He's Welsh. He's brown. Richard Morgan Gloucester. He's dark. He's from Virginia. He's a planter. Is he a slave because he's dark? In that time, in the 1700s, remember, this is from the 1700s. Christopher Fielding Culpeper. He's brown. He's from England. Solomon Simpson. He's brown. He's from Virginia. John Gardner. He's light. Virginia. Christopher Bond. He's dark-skinned from Virginia. William Criswell. He's fair-skinned from Virginia. Dr. Bowles. He's brown-skinned from England. David Jones. He's pale-skinned from Virginia. All right, we got a pale-skinned person here. All right. Samuel Dexter. He's brown complexion from England. James Guttery. He's fair from England. We got Aquila Byrne. He's brown from Virginia. Timothy Conaway. He's brown complexion. He's Irish. We were just reading about these people, right? Remember, 5'2", look at the height. They were small, but eventually by these times they were kind of mixing in probably and getting, you know, but these are a lot of these, that's why they're in general, they're very small. Virginia planter Timothy Conway. All right, we got Jeremiah Collum. He's fair-skinned in England. Thomas Codham, brown complexion. Regina James Davis, he's brown complexion from England. Patrick Feeney, he's brown complexion from England. Richard Fisher, he's fair from England. Jim Jones, brown complexion from Virginia. I'm sorry, John Jones, not Jim. Jacob Lewis, the yellow man. He's from Virginia. He's a yellow man from Virginia. John Leland, he's brown complexion from Virginia. Samuel McDowell, he's fair complexion from Ireland. John Mans, fair complexion from England. William Newell, brown complexion from England. Edward Nichols, fair complexion from England. William Robinson, he's fair from Virginia. James Ryan, brown complexion from Ireland. Charles Redmayne, he's brown complexion from England. Edward Thompson, fair complexion from England. Thomas Smith, brown complexion from Virginia. Joseph Sawyer, fair complexion from New England. John Williams, he's yellow from Virginia. He's a yellow man. George Williams, brown complexion from Virginia. And then we got Ezekiel Young, brown complexion from England. All right, brown complexion from England. We got size roll of Henry Woodward's company. This is from 11 September 1757. Roll gave name, country, age, height, county, complexion, trade, and description. We got Abraham Shaw. He's brown complexion. He's dark, small, thin face. All right, he's from England. All right. Brown with dark, small, thin face from England. Charles Farmer. He's a drummer. No info. John Clark. He's from England. Brown complexion, dark, well proportioned. He's dark and well proportioned and brown. Is that the hair? What is that? They didn't say nothing about hair here, right? In the description, it says complexion. All right, and description. So he's from England again. Thomas Evans, he's from Virginia. He's dark and thick and well said. John Scott, he's dark complexion. He's a planter and he's a Scotchman. The Black Scots, Highlanders, what are we talking about here? William Hunt, he's from England. He's fair complexion. Abraham Amos, he's from England. It says black, barber, black, thin face, so black. He's from England. John Adams, he's brown complexion and brown, well made. Anthony Arnold, brown, well made. He's from Virginia. John Bryan, he's Irish. It says brown, planter, dark, well made. Francis Brooks from Virginia, it says dark. He's a planter, dark, very dark skin. Now we got 3 darks in this guy. All right. So see, now we don't know what, so you guys can see. But in general, what are we seeing here? What's the pattern? Francis Brooks, again from Virginia. He ain't no slave. He's a planter. He has a farm. He has his own farm in 1757. And he's what? Very dark skin. He's very dark skinned. He's not a slave. Edward Brown from Virginia. He's also dark. Oh, it says fair, very much freckled. Okay. Thomas Brown. He's from Virginia. It says dark, planner, sandy, short man, long chin. Matthew Carroll. He's brown, planner, black, well-made, pock-pitted. Black and pock-pitted. Joseph Cockrill. Freckled. He's a planner, red short, very much freckled. It says here, size roll of Captain Robert Sportwood's Company, Fort Young, 4th of October, 1757. Roll gave the name, the age, the height, the trade, the country, the county, and the description. It says John Sayles. He's from Virginia. He's dark, well-made, with dark hair. There we go. Now we know when they're talking about hair. James Lyle. He's a Scotch. He's a carpenter. It says he's fair. William Tolbert. He's from Maryland. He's fair complexion. Henry Francis. He's from Virginia. He's dark complexion. Well said, black hair. William Blackie. Blackie. He's from Virginia. He's dark. Stoops very much in the shoulders with black hair. William Bear. He's from Virginia. He's dark complexion and lame in one leg. John Boswell. He's from Virginia. He's fair complexion. William Gill. He's from Virginia. He's dark complexion. James Sufworth. He's from Virginia. Dark complexion. William Maynard. He's from England. He's fair. And then we got Robert McElroy. He's Irish. He's dark complexion. We got a dark Irish, McElroy. William Simmons or Simons, Virginia, brown complexion. John Wright. He's from Virginia. He's fair complexion. John Petter. He's from England. He's dark complexion from England. Richard Powers. He's Irish. He's fair complexion. Thomas Dyer. He's from England. He's sandy, it says. Sandy. Sandy, hey, that has color. William Summers. He's from Pennsylvania. He's brown, well-made. John Burgess. He's from Maryland. Brown complexion. Patrick Hughes. He's Irish. Brown complexion. Thomas Brown. He's dark complexion. He's from Baltimore. He's Maryland. John Hudson. He's from Maryland. He's fair complexion. That's the one I got. David Dawson. He's from England. Says he's red complexion. Cooley Logan. He's Irish. He's dark complexion. Mr. Logan is Irish. Dark complexion. Got Timothy Toll. He is from England. George Jackson. He's from England. He's brown complexion. Jackson, right? Jackson. Brown complexion from England. Jackson. Sarah Goins, Maryland. Dark complexion. John Welsh. He's Irish. He's dark complexion from Ireland. Michael O'Neill, Irish. He's red complexion. William McMarth. He's Irish. He's dark complexion. William Bramford. He's from England. He's fair complexion. Christopher Smolinski. He's from Prussia, Germany. It says he's sandy. Lacey Maccabee, sorry. Maryland. He's fair complexion. John Posey. He's from Maryland. He's dark complexion. Matthew Fowler. He's from Maryland. He's fair complexion. We got Robert Speck. He's from Maryland. He's brown complexion. John Fleming. He's Scotch. He's fair. John Purdue. He's from Maryland. He's sandy. Thomas Simmons. He's from England. He's fair complexion. And Thomas Brannan. He's an Irishman who's of dark complexion. Well said. Short black hair. He's Irish with dark complexion. We got John Lane. He's from Virginia. He's red complexion. Matthew Smith. He's from Virginia. Fair complexion. Richard Bogan. He's from Virginia. He's fair complexion. John Guthrie. He's fair complexion. Francis Cooley from Virginia. Brown complexion. Simon Smith from Virginia. He's from the Isle of Wight. He's brown complexion. Thomas Richardson. He's a shoemaker from Virginia. Brown complexion. Richard Wilshire. He's a planter. Dark complexion. He's from Virginia. Burrell Green. He's from Virginia. Dark complexion. Willis Miller. He's from Virginia. All right. James Nolan from Virginia. Fair complexion. George Davis. He's Irish. Brown complexion. Arthur Ailey. He's a planter. He's brown complexion. John Durkinson. He's from Virginia, fair complexion. We got John Darkington, fair complexion. Philip Evans, Virginia, fair complexion. John Howell from Virginia, fair complexion. Samuel Bullock from Virginia, fair. We got Richard Bullock, that's probably his brother, fair complexion. We got John Wall, pale complexion. All right, so you guys can see when there is actual light-skinned people, fair maybe, fair can be beautiful. We don't know really what they mean by fair, but yeah, we're gonna take it for white. We'll give them that, and then you can see there's a pale description too. So they're very specific. William Dunaway from Virginia, he's brown complexion. John Oakes, he's from Virginia, he's fair. Samuel Howell, he's from Virginia, he's a mulatto. He's a mulatto. He's a Sawyer, though. He has short black curled hair. Mulatto, black curled hair. Amos Davis, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Brian Hagun, he's Irish. He's brown complexion. William Crossland, all right, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. William Payton, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Aaron Feltz, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. Abner Dobbins, he's from Virginia, dark complexion. John Fling, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. China Joyce, he's from Virginia, he's a brown complexion. All right, and then we got another list here. We got Christopher Brown from Virginia, brown complexion. Jeremiah Self from Virginia. Collins, that's all it says. He's brown complexion from Virginia. John Lingo, Virginia, dark complexion. He's from Accomack, dark complexion from Virginia. John Lingo. Ashby says here from England, he's dark complexion from England. Roberts, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Davis, he's from Maryland, fair complexion. It says Eaton, a planter from Virginia, he's an Accomack, dark. It says here Dash Justice, a planter from Accomack, he's fair complexion. It says Slavin. So these are some surnames I guess they only had from Virginia. Lip, he's from planter from Jersey. He's fair. P.H. Minster from Virginia. It says he's freckled and well set. Charles Travis. He's a Scotch. He's fair complexion. Simon Harden, Pennsylvania, fair complexion. Duncan Ferguson. He's from Scotland, fair. David DeHay. He's in England. He's says spare with bad limbs and brown hair. John Ufris, he's from England. He's dark complexion. He's from England. William Smith, he's from Virginia. Well-made limbs. Thomas Wright, he's from England. Brown complexion. Adam Evans, Pennsylvania, brown, large, well-made limbs. Jesse May from Virginia, brown complexion. Joseph Hicks, he's a planter. He's fair complexion. He's from Hanover. Richard Martin, he's from Virginia. He's brown, spare. John Govern, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Thomas Shefflett, he's from Virginia, also brown complexion. John Johnson, he's from Virginia, he's fair. John Brooke, he's from Virginia, he's pale. Peter Guin, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion. Francis Adams, he's fair complexion, he's from England. Henry Blankenship, he's from Virginia, he's dark complexion from Virginia. Joseph Willow, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion. And then we got John Donald. He's from Virginia. He's black, it says. Black, lusty, good limbs. Woolly and black head of hair. Woolly. All right. Let's go. All right. There we go. John Donald. He's a planter. He's not a slave. This is 1700s. He's from Virginia. It says he's black, lusty, good limbs. Woolly and black head of hair. Woolly hair. A mulatto. All right. How would you interpret this? Is this your family? Joseph Hinshaw from Virginia, brown complexion. Michael Burns, he's Irish. He's brown complexion. He's Irish. Strong limbs, though clumsy. Abraham Bletzer, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion. Daniel Royalty, he's from Virginia. He's brown complexion. Levin Lamore, he's from Virginia. Accomack, dark complexion. Lamore sounds almost French to me, but he could be from here. Maybe mixed. Maybe not. We have to dig on that, right? Virginia, Accomack, we know that he's dark complexion though. John Gilmore, he's an Irish farmer. He's dark complexion, large, clumsy limbs. All right, he's Irish and he's dark complexion. Thomas Lane, he's from England, he's fair. Edmund With, he's from Virginia, he's brown complexion. Benjamin Goss, he's from Virginia, fair complexion. Benjamin Rogers, he's from Virginia, brown complexion. Thomas Hunter, he's from England, he's brown complexion from England. We got William French, he's from England, he's brown complexion. Mr. Frenchman, dark brown hair. David Tate, he's an Indian trader, he's Irish, and he's what? Brown complexion. So he's an Indian trader. Lawrence Kelly says he's a Mason, he's Irish, he's brown complexion. John Curls, he's from Jersey, fair complexion. Thomas Radford from England, brown complexion. William Blanton from Virginia, also brown complexion. John Davis, he's from Jersey, he's actually fair complexion. Brandon Gillians, he's from Virginia, dark complexion. John Gooden from Jersey, fair complexion. Robert Elliott, he's from England, fair complexion. William Simpson from Virginia, Accomac, dark complexion. The Simpsons, yeah. Michael Scully, Irish, dark complexion. William Fambus, he's from Scotland, fair complexion. Henry Pickett from Virginia, fair complexion. William Holland, he's Irish, dark complexion, Irish. Samuel Isdale, he's Irish. He's a Indian trader as well. All right, here we go again. Another Irish Indian trader. He's dark complexion. John Brown, he's from Augusta. He's dark complexion. James Williams, he's from England, brown complexion. James Williams, brown complexion. William Edwards from Virginia, fair complexion. David Curry from Virginia, brown complexion. David Deborn from Virginia, brown complexion. All right. We got, it doesn't say the name. It says Jobber, Ireland. He's fair. It says another one with no name from England, brown complexion. Another one with no name from Virginia, brown complexion. John Donnelly from Virginia, fair. John Waters, an Englandman, he's fair complexion. Levi Smith from Virginia, brown complexion. Mark Donnelly, he's Irish, he's fair complexion. Nathaniel Dedman from Virginia, dark complexion. What do we got here? We got John Campbell, he's from Scotland, he's dark complexion, speaks bad English, and he's from Scotland. So what does that mean? What is he really speaking? Is he speaking that Armorican, that old Gaelic patois? Bad? You calling it bad English? Is that what you calling bad English? John Swinburne, England, brown complexion. James Parkinson, he's from England, fair complexion. Francis Rogers, he's from England, brown complexion. Terence Sweeney, he's an Indian trader, right? He's Irish and he's brown complexion. John Ponty from Maryland, he's fair complexion. William Body from Scotland, brown complexion. We got Moses Rabbi from Accomac, Virginia. Don't say his complexion, but it says he has large, good limbs, sandy hair. Joseph Tapman, a planter from Virginia, he's brown complexion. John Green, Irish, brown complexion. Thomas Keegan, he's Irish, fair complexion. John Riley, he's Irish, fair complexion. William Mander from England, brown complexion. Joseph Roberts, all right, Irish from brown complexion. John Tegar, he's from Scotland, brown complexion. John McIntyre, he's Irish. Let's see if we got him on the next page. Yeah, we got him. He's Irish, he's fair complexion. We got Thomas Rafferty, he's Irish, he's dark complexion, dark, Irish. Thomas Brannan, he's Irish, fair complexion. Samuel Cooper, he's brown complexion. Moses Garvin, almost sound like Garvey. Moses Garvin, he's Irish, brown complexion. Irish, brown complexion. John Mitchell, Irish, fair complexion. John Hart, Irish, brown complexion. Patrick McPike, Irish, fair complexion. William Luckner, Irish, dark complexion. John Smith, another John Smith, Irish, who's dark complexion. Mr. John Smith, Mr. Dark Irish John Smith. Barnaby Riley, Irish, brown complexion. Thomas Davis, England, fair complexion. Andrew Fowler from Scotland, fair complexion. Beverly Lowe, he's from Virginia. He is swarthy. He's so swarthy, right? And he's a copper worker, metal worker. So it doesn't say nothing about him being a slave here, right? In the 1700s, you got somebody in Virginia. He's a free man, all right? And he's in the Revolutionary War. You got John Wildrich from Virginia, brown and lusty. It says brown lusty with dark brown hair. Elijah Gillians, Virginia, fair. William Bromley, he's from Virginia, Accomack, brown complexion. Joseph Addison, a planner, brown lusty. Now we got the size roll of Captain Robert Mackenzie's company. The roll gave the name, the rank when given enlisting officer, age, height, county, country, trade when given, place of enlistment, and description. All right, these are one of the funnier ones, more detailed one. It says James Robinson. He's from Scotland. He's ruddy complexion with smallpox. Ruddy complexion. They came with smallpox. Thomas Watts. Captain, so he's in the Captain Mackenzie squad. He's from Fort Washington, England. He's dark complexion. All right, see it right here. Dark complexion. He's from England. Dark complexion. Charles Scott from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas White from England, dark complexion. He's a white surname, but he has a dark complexion. So what does white really mean? What's with white? Dark complexion, though. He's from England. Thomas Lamb, he's from England, ruddy complexion. John Warner, Ireland, fair complexion. Peter Affleck from the Isle of Wight, Scotland, brown complexion. John Adams, he's from Scotland, dark complexion. David Hartwell, he's from Virginia, dark complexion. James Hatfield from England, he's fair complexion. John Campbell, he's from Scotland, dark complexion. Dennis McNamara from Ireland, dark complexion. Thomas Quinn, Ireland, also dark complexion. Do you guys see the pattern? Edward Blackburn from Virginia, brown complexion. John Jenkins from Pennsylvania, he's brown complexion. James Clark from Virginia, he's also brown complexion. James Malone from Ireland, he's dark complexion. George Proctor from Virginia, swarthy, so swarthy complexion. James Riley from England, he's ruddy complexion. George Shields from England, he's ruddy complexion. Lewis Green from Virginia, he's brown complexion. We got John Sinclair from England, he's dark complexion from England. Patrick Glenn, Ireland, dark complexion from Ireland. James Rowe, Virginia, ruddy complexion. Joseph Ale from England, ruddy complexion. David Morgan from Virginia, brown complexion. James Monday from Maryland, he's fair complexion. Thomas Brown, Maryland, brown complexion. John Connor. Oh, we got John Connor. He's going back and forth in time right here. Keeps going back in time. He's everywhere. John Connor. He's from Pennsylvania. He's dark complexion. Actually, he's Irish. John Connor, Ireland, dark complexion. I always knew John Connor was a dark complexion, so-called black man. They try to make the Terminator white man too. You see that? Matthew Lynch, Ireland, swarthy complexion. Ain't no getting out of that one. Swarthy. We went over the definition, right? How many times did we go over the definition? All right. Ireland, swarthy complexion. Roger Bergham from Maryland, fair complexion. George Golden, he's from Virginia, he's dark complexion. William Hogan. Now remember, all these people who are local, none of them say slave. All right, they got their professions, they got their jobs. You know, some of them are farmers, planners. These are not slaves. William Hogan from Ireland, swarthy complexion. Hogan, Irish, swarthy complexion. John Simmons from England, black. England, again, black, so-called black complexion from England. Lawrence Higgins from Ireland, dark complexion. Thomas Carr from Scotland, dark complexion. Philip Burwell from England, fair complexion. Aaron Sweeney from Virginia, dark complexion. Edward Lang from Virginia, and doesn't say here. I'll get brown complexion. Then we got no name here, D, no name D at the end. He's from Scotland. They know he was brown complexion though. A Scottish with brown complexion. Thomas Hughes from Virginia. Swarthy complexion, Mr. Hughes with swarthy complexion. All right. Henry Hughes, Ireland, swarthy complexion. Another Irish with swarthy complexion. So swarthy. Joe Simmons. He's from Virginia. He's pale complexion. There you go. They're writing it and recording it here. Again, we're reading from Virginia's Colonial Soldiers by Lloyd DeWitt Bruckstuck. All right. The seals are open. They kept all this info from us. This is big. Hope you guys are realizing what's going on right now. Walter Williams from England, brown complexion. Philip Combs Brown from Virginia, ruddy complexion. Thomas Cotton from Virginia, ruddy complexion. John Britton from Ireland, ruddy complexion. Peter Truly, he's from Ireland, he's pale complexion. Isham Belcher from Virginia, he's fair complexion. William Ragsdale from Virginia, fair complexion. John Davis, he's dark complexion, he's from Virginia. John Clark from England, swarthy from England, swarthy complexion. William Wright, Virginia, ruddy complexion. James Anderson, Virginia, dark complexion. George Morton from England, pale complexion. John Kemp from Virginia, swarthy complexion. Edward Chappell from Virginia, ruddy complexion. John Evans from Virginia, dark complexion. Richard Riddle from Virginia, dark complexion. Charles Bruce from Scotland, fair complexion. Nathan Batten from Virginia, fair complexion. Absalom Campbell from Maryland, brown complexion. William Colbert from Virginia, fair complexion. Jacob Morris from Virginia, fair complexion. Daniel McLean from Scotland, fair complexion. John Penmore from England, fair complexion. Thomas Smith from Virginia, fair complexion. James Thompson from England, brown complexion. Robert Thorne from Virginia, fair complexion. James Turner from Virginia, dark complexion. Bernard Ward from Maryland, dark complexion. John Best from Virginia, fair complexion. Stephen Fields from Virginia, fair complexion. Jacob Mosley from Virginia, dark complexion. Elijah McCoy from Virginia, fair complexion. James Maxident from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Newland from Pennsylvania, he's fair complexioned. William Patterson from Virginia, fair complexion. Thomas Roberts from Jersey, he's brown complexion. Peter Solomon from Virginia, dark complexion. So what do you guys think?
Robert Dre, trust me, bye.